I don't want to be on, so I'm gonna make my numbers tank.
Yes, I don't fuck with your loyalty. I'm not gonna fucking give you shit.
So I'm gonna decrease my value.
Yes.
To do what?
You're not decreasing your value because
Absolutely.
everybody knows who you are.
Oh man, we is here. We are live. Khalil, Jeremy, Court and Culture. Welcome everybody. You know, we're basketball meets raw, unfiltered conversation. So I'm gonna dive straight into it. First things first. Y'all noticed a little bit of a different spot. Got a little studio thing going on here. So we got some changes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know what I'm saying? My boy, he got the shades on today. I don't got the shades on.
I think Pam upgraded us, so I had to wear the shades because I'm feeling a little mystique.
We got the suite going, man. It's looking nice. Things is going up, so we want to kind of let y'all know about.
There's a few things actually I got to bring up. That's going to be pretty interesting that you may not be aware about. So as you get into it, we'll unravel them.
Oh, man. So y'all stay tuned to hear in this episode what we're going to be talking about. But before we get really into it, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, man. I'm doing very well, bro. Good. How are you, man? How's life treating you?
Man, I can't complain, man. Life's pretty good, honestly. Went out not too long ago with a couple of friends. Kind of been a minute. Went out to the bar. It was nice, had a good little time. Shoot some pool. Went over to like Backstage Billiards, the place over in Florida, and it was a good time. I got some couple of drinks, played some pool, watched I think a game might have been on too, if I'm not mistaken, too as well. Obviously football playoffs is going on, but it was a nice night out. Relaxed, nothing too crazy. Didn't have to have a crazy night. I'm getting older. I ain't really trying to have crazy nights now.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I actually had a crazy day. I want to say. One thing that actually I didn't tell you about, Khalil, I wanted to save it specifically for the podcast, bro. I had a crazy interaction, man. I was with one of our peers, one of our friends, two of them actually, which you're very close to. I won't mention them for the sake of their identity, protecting their identity.
Confidentiality.
Yeah, NDAs and stuff. But so we're driving around, man. We're en route. We're just doing our normal routine thing, what we normally do throughout the week, and we're like looking at this guy walking on the phone. He has a phone in his hand and he's walking, and I honestly, at first I didn't really notice it because I think I was either on my laptop or on my phone, and I just heard Charlie saying like, yo, why is he kicking that dog? Why is he kicking that dog? And I didn't look. I'm thinking Charlie always like, I've already mentioned his name, so it's my dog. But no, he obviously over exaggerate things. Person number two, then again mentions it as well and says, "Oh shit, he's kicking the dog." And so then fellow friend again. This is within like a 30-second, 45-second
time frame.
Yeah, time frame. That they're actively watching the guy while Charlie's driving. I'm sitting passenger, and Charlie's actually making his way towards where the guy is. I'm unbeknownst to me. I'm again focused on whatever I'm focused on, and again I hear Charlie say, "Yeah, nah, he kicked the dog. I just saw it again. He just kicked it." I got out of the car. I didn't even see anything. Actually, before I got out of the car, I looked to my right, and I see what seems to be a guy being negligent to a dog who is trying to be friendly. And so I go and I open the car door. I'm about less than 30 yards away from the guy, so I'm not that far. At this point, Charlie has driven pretty close. And we're in the parking lot, square, probably right in front of like a Publix somewhere. And I go up to him and I ask him, as I'm walking to him, yo, is that your dog? Is that your dog? And he goes, no, that's not my dog. And he's on the phone, kind of gives a little bit of an attitude, but it's not his dog. And that gave me all the confirmation that it needed. So I realized that what the boys were talking about was true as far as like him shoving the dog. I realized that he was on the phone and the dog was following him. It was a lost dog, was following him because it was a playful. It's a home dog.
Yeah.
And it was very playful, like it just wanted to play, and it literally followed him for a very couple minutes. And I got into this guy's face, bro, and nearly exploded. Fucking person number two had to hold me back at some point. By God's grace, I spared this man a quick little
life lesson,
can ass whooping. But long story short, man, Your boy G got a little puppy at home, bro. A little puppy at home, bro. So I didn't know what to do. This happened like probably like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks.
You got 2 cats and a puppy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's very interesting, bro. It's very interesting. But I didn't know what to do, man. And then on top of that, dog was following me after the interaction with the guy.
Because you saved him. Now he feels like you're his friend.
Yeah, so
now you're family.
When we put him in the car and we brought him over to this, secret location and into a parking lot where we can kind of like let him roam around and give him some snacks or something, see if he's thirsty. I have water and stuff. And I've never seen, he got the jitters of like the dog.
Zoomies?
Yeah, the zoomies. He was just spinning like across this giant parking lot in full speed. He looked like a horse. Like it was just, and he's not that big of a dog, but it was just, to me, I felt like freedom. Like when a dog like sees like some sort of like hope and he get extra excited. Cause he wasn't doing that. I didn't find him doing that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. That was a bittersweet moment.
Main question, I guess, is what you gonna do with this dog?
I don't know, man. I think, hey, if there's any owners out there that recently lost a puppy, in this area, I'm not gonna go ahead and spawn myself, but I hope you guys notated it because I'm gonna be bringing the puppy over to a vet, make sure if it's chipped or if it's been, kind of placed missing.
Look at you doing your good deed. All right, I see you.
Man.
We have saving a life out here.
We have to, bro.
Hey, I'm a proud dog owner, so anyone that's watching that loves their pets, hey, shout out to G out here, saving lives, saving all lives matter.
Yeah, even that guy's life matter at that point.
Hey, at that point, he might not have had a life. It seems
Bro,
like because
I
cruelty ain't nothing to play about.
I think what saved him was I didn't get to see how hard the kicks were. I just heard
Good thing you didn't, because if you did see it, you heard the kicks.
No, I heard it from
okay.
our peers. Like I didn't really see it.
Well, hopefully it wasn't anything too, crazy. I'm assuming the dog's walking, running healthy.
Yeah. No, dog's very healthy. It's actually a very good, very trained dog. I honestly almost want to keep him.
All right. Well,
what I think happened.
Let's not get into keeping the dog now.
But so this is what I feel like happened. The dog was wandering for at least a day because it went through a rain. You can tell by the hair. It was
Did you give the dog a bath?
Yeah, I did. It was like the fuzzy hair.
He's yours now.
Yeah, right.
So
he had like that fuzzy, you could tell went through a rain. He wasn't skinny, so it wasn't like he could have been out there for that long unless he was a survivor. Like,
I wonder what he was eating this whole time.
Yeah, like he knew how to kill squirrels or something. I don't know, but so it might have been either an elderly person's dog, because that's how friendly he was, or a child's dog.
That shit pisses me off, man. Honestly.
Or
come on,
a homeless person's dog. Which again, one of the three options it is. Hopefully they reported it or like put it in the database so that when I go to the vet and I'm able to.
That's just wrong, man. Honestly, like if you don't want the dog, or like I don't know how you would notice your dog missing for this long, however long, but it's always sad when you see pets lost. I see all the time when I'm driving on the road. Whenever I see like a dog just walking, I take my time to make sure, hey, you go ahead, you walk your way. I don't really want to get involved because once you get a pet, you get attached. I already got a dog. I'm not trying to bring another one around. But
what prompted me to was one, the guy kicking the dog.
Yeah,
and then secondly I had an experience where a dog, and this is like, this is like some dark stuff in a way, but like I saw a dog one time in the middle of the road as I was leaving.
I can already see where the story's going.
Yeah, and then when I came back,
all dogs go to heaven.
I saw him, but he wasn't. And he was in almost in a very similar position where I left him at, where he was crossing the street. But at this point, he was trampled. So, I don't think I can do that anymore. I think that's what prompted me to make sure the dog was safe.
All right. Well, shout out to the dog. You named him yet?
No, I haven't, bro. I've been saying boy. Come over here, boy. Come over here, buddy.
All right, don't name him, because once you name him, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You can't keep calling him boy though, because he gonna start coming to boy all the time.
But maybe that's gonna be his name, boy.
We not doing that. We're not doing that. But all right, damn, you had an interesting couple of days. Sounds like
it's been an eventful new year for sure, bro.
Definitely.
It's been a successful. 2025 treated us lovely. I think it blessed us in many ways.
I'm happy 2025 is over, man. I'm looking forward to 2026. I'm looking forward to growing the podcast. I'm growing, honestly, business. Really just putting my hand in every pot that I can to bring some money in this year. It's 2026, it's the year of growth.
That's it, bro.
So that's what we going to. But anyways, we here y'all tuned into this podcast to hear sports, so we're gonna give you the sports.
Yes, sir.
So right now, the NBA, who you got candidate-wise? I know it's midway in the season for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oof.
Just a reminder, last year was Evan Mobley from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So who we got this year?
You know, man, I've heard some names in the bucket, and one of them, you know, I think we've heard Cade Cunningham being in that bucket, also
Really?
for MVP in a way. Probably more leaning on the MVP side than defensive side, but he does make a defensive impact. One thing I've heard was OG being the best two-way player in the NBA, which
I don't know
includes
about all that now.
he might be, which includes the fact that he's a threat on the defensive side as well. But overall, defensive player of the year this year, man, I'm gonna go ahead and dodge the question, bro. Honestly, because I feel like
Too early to tell still?
yeah, I feel like it's too early to tell. Yeah, it's too.
That's fair.
There's no separation yet within players. But who do you think?
I mean, right now, what I have, I'm gonna be leaning a little bit on Chet right now.
Okay.
Chet's looking pretty solid when it comes to defense this year. Block-wise, his defensive intensity, I believe he's averaging, I want to say a little over a block and a half a game. I'll check the stat another time. But, I mean, what he's doing for the OKC the other night when they closed out, man, I can't even remember who it was they closed out because there's been so many games over the past couple of days. But it was a close game, and he had, I want to say, 3 solid blocks in the game itself. Defensive-wise, I mean, he's going to score, but I think he's definitely, you got to alter your shots whenever you're going up against a Chet, like how you would against a Wemby, for example. And what Chet's able to do, whether he's chasing the block down or he's just guarding you himself, you can make the argument that he can be Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Is he more on the threat on the chasing you down than he is? Are his blocks more so coming off?
It's not necessarily a chase down block. No,
It's shooting block.
Yeah, it's actual shooting. Like you're shooting,
So
and he's
we're
blocking.
not
actually.
anticipating.
Yeah, he's either that or he's blocking like you're not guarding. He's not guarding you, and he's maybe from behind another guy. He's guarding,
and then
he sees that you about to shoot.
He just blocks.
He's blocking that. Not necessarily a chase down, but it's one of those you didn't expect it kind of deal.
Yeah,
so
I agree with the adjustment portion of it.
The Thunder, don't get me wrong, they look good, but I will say the defense of Chet right now has been something to talk about and to look at. So I'm gonna lean in on Chet right now, honestly, when it comes to winning that award. But
Okay.
outside of that, though, not very much going on. Like when it comes to the OKC, I did suffer a loss not too long ago. So as far as defensive player,
it looks like OKC's not gonna get that record.
oh no, I'm not even counting on the record. I'm not even.
We tried calling at the beginning of the season, but
Some people did. I mean, they had the full steam going on. They were obviously winning a lot of games. They're still relatively got a great record. They only got 7 losses. 8 losses now? Yes, right. They did get that other loss.
they did like 35, 36, and 8.
So, it's still number 1. They're still number 1 in the Western Conference and still number 1 in the NBA. So,
Yes, they are.
regardless of whatever their loss is right now, they're still going to make it to the championships, I think, personally.
Unless something drastic happens.
Unless something drastic happens, I can't really count anything out. Like I said, OKC and Wemby and San Antonio, that's probably going to be the closest game really when it comes to Western Conference.
You also have Denver, man, who doesn't go away too easy, even though they're dealing with injuries.
Aaron Gordon came back. Jokic is scheduled to potentially be coming back soon. So a lot can happen. Obviously, when you put Jokic out there, that's a game changer. I mean, this man is one
an
MVP.
automatic 30.
Exactly. He's going to get you assists, your rebounds. He's going to get you your points. He's going to get you the three-pointer shot with the ugly-ass shot.
30, 15, and 10 walking every time.
It's easy every night. 30, 15, 10. You ain't lying. So I can't count out Denver, but right now I can because you don't know what's going on with Jokic. But right now, hot teams, the number 2, number 1, OKC, San Antonio Spurs, they've been at it all season long. They haven't moved from the number 2 spot. So it's hard to count them out. But with back to Chet though, with his defense that he's bringing to the team, I'm gonna have to say that he's probably gonna be my strong vote when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year. But a little change up though going on. A little switch happened recently over in the Eastern Conference. You got Trae Young, who just moved recently over to the Wizards.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, you're not feeling that, huh?
What a sad time, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it neither. You know, my boy was telling me not too long ago that I should look at it like, oh, this is a good win for the Wizards, but I just can't see it, honestly. He went from a team that arguably was, honestly, in a better position than the Wizards. To go to a team, it seems like he's not the franchise player over there to what it's been explained. They haven't confirmed that he's going to be the franchise player, but they have confirmed that they want to run the offense with him. He's going to be the guy that's going to generate most of the offense to probably, develop some of the other players on the team. You got an Alex Sarr on that team. You got Bilal Coulibaly. You got Bub Carrington. So there's a couple of players on that team that I'm assuming they're going to bring Trey in to hopefully generate some offense, but I don't think it's enough. I mean, all you did was just bring in an all-star talent player to just make it into the play-in. I don't think the Wizards are going to do the best thing they had going on with the Wizards was CJ McCollum.
And I was going to say that too. You ruined CJ McCollum's career because you had the same game plan of trying to develop other players.
I don't think you ruined it. I think him in Atlanta is better for him.
You stagnated CJ.
They had to free him. They had to free him, dude. He was over in the Washington Wizards. He was scoring 20, 25-point games. I think he had scored a 35 or 40 piece earlier this season with them. So it's like, this man can score. He showed that he's a scorer. Now, yes, granted, he's literally the best player on that team. And that's a lot to say when you have young talent like a Bilal Coulibaly, like a Bub Carrington, like an Alex Sarr, who was projected to be their franchise player.
Well, CJ McCollum is a vet. CJ McCollum is a vet.
He knows what to do. He's been with teams. He's been with the Pelicans. He's been with the Portland Trailblazers. Like, he's been on these teams, and he knows how to play the game. So I think Atlanta got a good pickup with that. What I'm not liking, though, is that now they don't really have a solid point guard. And I don't know if the intention was to put CJ at the point guard position. To my understanding, he's always been a shooting guard.
He's a catch and shoot.
Exactly. So I can't really think that that's going to be something they're going to do. So right now they're missing a point guard. And I know I've said before that, I think Trae Young needs to be out of Atlanta because it just didn't seem like things were working, whether it was with him and Quinn Snyder, the head coach of ATL, or whether it was him and just being available. Yeah, he had his injury woes this season, but when he was back, they lost 5 straight games with him back. So I don't know if that was because it was a tail end of him kind of, being pushed out, I guess you could say, and moving in the era of the Jalen Johnson. I'm not sure what that was, but now they are missing a key piece, which is a point guard. Now, Jalen Johnson is supposed to be the franchise player of that team, but I don't know if he's a leader of that team just yet. That's the big thing.
There we go. Yeah, got big shoes to fill.
So can he be
Trae Young did some good things for Atlanta.
Yeah, you can't.
And I'll be honest, as good as Jalen Johnson is doing for Atlanta, and as good as he's potentially going to be in his career, I would have much rather keep Trae Young and use Jalen Johnson as a leverage to get a significant player.
I do
Atlanta.
agree. If you would have asked him weeks ago, I'd have been like, nah, you got to get him out of there. But the reason why I agree with that now is because it is showing just a little bit that they do need a little bit of a veteran guard or veteran talent, a player that's been on that team for a while. I think the problem why it didn't work is because Atlanta as an organization, they were ready to move on from Trae Young to Jalen Johnson.
It's the same thing as Damian Lillard in Portland. It's like, you were ready to get rid of him because y'all haven't won a championship, y'all haven't done much. It was Dame time the whole time while he was there. So y'all got rid of him, sent him to the Bucks, and you sucked after that. So in this very similar sense, now Atlanta's having the same problem.
Yeah, but Atlanta's not Portland, though.
You traded your identity player. It's the player that you guys use to identify as the Atlanta Hawks. And when you remove him, and it's not to say that Atlanta can't re-identify themselves with Jalen Johnson. It's just saying that it's going to take time. And Jalen Johnson is not a LeBron James to come in and just clear the cache on everybody's mind and clear the browsing history and be like, I'm the new king in town.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, he's not LeBron James. I don't think anyone's really necessarily LeBron James.
I just meant the next
side note.
Next
I was
franchise.
at that bar the other day and someone was saying that Oscar Robertson was better than LeBron James. I'm gonna let y'all ponder that. We ain't gonna discuss that, but that was wild. But anyways, yeah, I don't think anyone expected him to be that, but I think it was transition moment. They were ready to get rid of a Trae Young. They felt that they only went so far. I feel like they felt that team had plateaued with Trae Young. I think that's what the organization felt. They seen Jalen Johnson, a shiny new toy. He's working. He's getting these points up. He had potential. He obviously had that injury last season, so it cut it short. But now he's working up to that potential. He's getting triple doubles. He's getting these high points, these high assist games. So it's working for him. The team is working. They've showed that they can win without Trae Young. The issue right now is they added 2 players to this team in a Corey Kispert and a CJ McCollum. So now you have to figure out how you can put that offense that's supposed to be around supposedly Jalen Johnson and incorporate CJ McCollum and a Corey Kispert. So it's going to be a little bit of adjustment. That's just how it's going to be. And to do it at this time of the season, it is mid-season, so now you got to make these adjustments quick. Because if you take too long, now we're past All-Star. Now we're in trying to get into the playoff contentions. So you want to get into chemistry as soon as possible. Honestly, you want CJ to come out and just start shooting.
We're not contending this year in Atlanta. We can call it quits. As a
No,
development.
they're going to make top 8.
Year.
They'll make top 8. They're not going to fall into the
But
where are they at right now.
They'll fall in the playoffs.
They'll fall in the playoffs, 100%. They're not making it through the playoffs, not at all. But they will make it into the playoffs. They're number 10 right now.
That's fine, but they're gonna fall
now,
in the playoffs.
If the season ended right now, technically they would have a losing record, 20-25, so they're under 500, and they're 10th right now in the East, which is crazy to think that they would make it into the playoffs, being in the whole play-in tournament. But they're not down and out, because if I look at the bottom teams after that, you got Milwaukee, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Washington Wizards, and the Indiana Pacers. None of those teams there, aside from maybe the Bucks, are beating the Atlanta Hawks. None of those teams. Well, maybe the Charlotte Hornets, because LaMelo Ball's been playing like he's back at Chino.
But just because you said one team is enough.
That's true.
Milwaukee turning up.
But we also don't know what's going to happen with Milwaukee still. You know, obviously the trade going on, the rumors. And then there's also the video of Giannis coming back out saying, hey, you know, I never said I wanted to go anywhere. I want to stay here.
He said he'll die in that.
All kinds of shit. You know, the back and forth.
I told you it's because they signed his grandma and everybody.
So it's like you don't know what's going to happen. The trade deadline is on February 6th, if I'm not mistaken. 5th. Wow, which is really close to the J. Cole album. We'll talk about that later. But it's really close. You know, we got less than a month before, and I don't think if they're gonna make moves, you got to make a move soon. And who that move is gonna be, I don't know. Giannis has talked. He said no, then he said yes. Obviously, there's been looming talk about Ja Morant being traded potentially too. He's come out recently and talking about, I want to be with Memphis. I got it tatted on my back, as if that shit matters. Like, I know girls that got their exes tatted on them. That shit don't matter. So it's just that I don't know what the trade market's going to look like with all these players that potentially may be in the trades. So it's going to be interesting. So I can't count Milwaukee in just yet, because I don't know if their head's in the game just yet. They did just get a win against Atlanta by 2. Not too bad, but they were just beating Atlanta by approximately 20-plus points. So the fact that they came down to 2 points, Milwaukee might not be ready, honestly. That team may need to get their chemistry back together. Giannis was just booed in his own stadium not too long ago.
There's some frustration there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd be frustrated too. I brought the team a fucking ring.
But you also, for that simple reason, you can't put the team out, and they are a threat to Atlanta. They're not a threat to the East right now, but they are a threat to Atlanta in the sense that a good 5 games could turn that around, and they can go from 10th to 11th.
And we know Giannis can turn it on come the playoff season. I say true to every day, this is a different NBA, and having that one player that can turn it on in the playoffs, that's not enough anymore. You need a team that can turn it on. And I'm not saying everyone needs to go out there and score 30 every day, but if your star player isn't getting that shit together, then I need your bench players to be at least evening it out to this point.
It's how every championship has been won.
Yeah, you need a team. You can't do it by yourself.
It's how every single, despite, even with the Kevin Durant and the Steph Curry era, you still had Iguodala doing some crazy
There's always
defense.
that one role player, that sixth man, that one person that comes off the bench and is hot when the star player is
had the bald guy with the fucking
Alex Caruso.
I always forget his name, but the guy I never forget the impact he made for that team.
No one does. Everyone remembers that guy that comes off the bench that is able to win the game for you, essentially. The guy that you didn't expect to win, that ends up winning the game for your team, you're going to remember him.
And you know what it is? It's the opportunities that players have, and a lot of times when you're not part of the defensive scouting report. So like when you play the Knicks, for instance, in the defensive scouting report for the opposing team, you have Brunson, you have Cat, you have Mikal Bridges third, or OG third and Mikal Bridges fourth. But they're not accounting for your bench players coming out and shooting 3 threes, getting hot.
Yeah, like a Tyler Kolek, maybe, or like a Miles McBride.
Exactly.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
So, and then then that's where it ruffles their feathers, and a lot of teams lose a grasp of the game because they didn't account for. Not every player gets put into that defensive reporting.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just like in any sport. You do film study, and when you do film study, it's always on the starters, the main players, the people that you see game in and game out. So when you don't see the bench out there, that you don't know what to plan for. You have no idea. There's no tactics.
Because
so.
the role player is a Mikal Bridges. That is the guy who I'm like, just in case it's not Brunson, it may be Mikal, let me plan for him.
Yeah.
But again, you don't plan for Josh Hart having 25
So-
and 15 boards.
Yeah, that's a fact. So what we thinking back to that Trae Young trade? You thinking a good, bad, ugly?
I think it was bad for both.
Bad for both
ends.
sides?
Bad for both sides. I think it was bad for Wizards. It was a bad trade for Trae Young.
Okay.
It was a bad trade for Atlanta. And I don't think it mattered anymore to CJ because he's been kicked around like a soccer ball his whole career.
He's a vet, but I mean, so better question is, since you say they both lost in the trade, in a sense, who do you think has a better, let's say, 2-3 year turnaround if they do? Like if you between the Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks, of those two teams, which team do you see that's going to be has a good season next season, for example? Would Atlanta be higher or would the Wizards be higher?
I think Atlanta would be higher.
I agree.
Because I think Atlanta's a bigger market team. They'll be able to probably add more players to help out, do some trades. They have some assets that they can trade. The Wizards now only have Trae Young, and like I think you mentioned a few other role players.
He's a market guy. He
A
might
few
bring
young
that
guys.
market. Bilal Coulibaly,
But bro,
Carrington.
even Michael Jordan, granted it was the end of his career, struggled in the Wizards. The Wizards is a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Bro,
It's
we
like
are
New
not,
Orleans at this point. They're the team of the West, of the East.
Yeah,
That's
like at least New Orleans, like we've seen them recently, like compete.
where?
Like within the last 10 years, in the last decade, at some point they
You're
were like
referring to the
5,
New Orleans
6.
Hornets. Then that's what you're referring to. Because the last time I saw the Pelicans compete was when they were in the first round of the playoffs and they got eliminated. I think it was by the Suns, if I'm not mistaken.
But that's what I mean. It's that little spur that we saw from them. We
Very
haven't seen
little.
shit from the Wizards.
Since the crazy stat about that is since they've been into the playoffs, that 1 year against the Phoenix Suns where the Bucks ended up winning that year, I believe that was 2021, they have not made it into the playoffs since.
Okay.
That says something about a team. You don't 1 year make it into the playoffs, all right? First round, whatever seed you are, you don't make it into the playoffs, and then next season just don't make it at all anymore.
Well, it depends.
They didn't lose anybody.
If you were 8th seed and then next season you don't make it.
I think
that's
they
a
actually added someone. If I'm not mistaken. I think after that year, I believe that's when they added. No, they didn't add Jordan Poole just yet because 2022 Golden State Warriors went on and won the championship, right?
So who the hell? Yeah, but who the hell? Yeah, 2022 was Golden State. But who the hell did they have when they went to the playoffs? Bradley Beal?
No. You talking about the Pelicans?
No, the Wizards.
Oh, the Wizards. I was talking about the Pelicans. I was talking about the Pelicans. I was talking about the Pelicans. Yeah, the Pelicans.
Yeah. I was going to say I haven't seen the Wizards in the playoffs.
Oh, the Wizards haven't been in the playoffs in a little minute. I think the last time they were there was probably with Bradley Beal when he had that he was going off in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was the last time they've really been relevant. And then even after that, they were relevant a little bit when they had Porzingis. Hell, even when they had Westbrook, they were relevant because at that point he was still looking like old school Westbrook, not putting up 30-point games, but he was averaging a triple double when he was with the Wizards. So the Wizards is just a team where
it's a career ender.
yeah, you just go to kind of retire there. And I'm not saying Trae Young is going to retire there, but I honestly don't think that Trae Young is going to do anything great on the Wizards. Aside from being a thorn in the side to New York, I'm sure he's going to still be that, being in the Wizards closer to the city. But I just can't see the Washington Wizards with the team that they have doing anything relevant in the NBA aside from maybe picking up a couple of drafts. If they got any draft picks, I don't even believe they have that. So
I don't think they have.
it's a tough road.
Yeah, they've
and
never
it's sad,
drafted
'cause,
even.
It seems like Trae just did it for money at this point.
They don't even draft franchise players. So it's
And you know what I hate about that? I hate when players come out and they're like, "Oh, I'm so excited to be here for this team. I really feel like this." I don't know. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know the guy. I don't know Trae Young personally, but all I can say is it's kind of funny how you can be the market player, the guy that basically you were the franchise player, you were the market of Atlanta. You want to talk about the Hawks, they thought about Ice Trae, like we talked about last time. So for you to be the heart of that city in a sense, to then say that, oh yeah, you know, I do like the Wizards organization, you know, I like this place and being here and I can see myself. It just sounds like a whole lot of garbage, honestly.
It's all business at that point. Yeah, it's transactional.
It's
a transactional relationship
at that point.
Yeah.
So
it's like when you let go of an ex and then you fall in love with the new girl and you love her more than the last girl.
Yeah, and say it's the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It don't add up well. But speaking of players and impact and, you know, all that other good stuff, Anthony Davis potentially needs surgery for ligament, maybe out months if he proceeds with the surgery. Now I want to get started because I know you got a crazy stat that you want to share with me. Anthony Davis has played horribly since he's been with the Dallas Mavericks. Since he's been with the Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flag, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis has played a total of 0 games together. 0 games. Understand, yes, Kyrie injured, went out. Cool. But you're Anthony Davis. You've been picked up on this team to generate some type of offense. And since he's been there, all he's generated was injuries. I mean, I've never seen such an embarrassment of a player when it comes to injuries, and he's not even that old. So it's like, I don't know what you do with Anthony Davis. I heard some talks about him going to Atlanta potentially. Atlanta sounded like they wanted him, which I don't know what the case is with that because who are they trading for? They talked about before Zach Research say potentially being moved over there, but Atlanta doesn't want to give him up. They feel confident that he's going to do something with that team and still be great or be part of that offense. So I don't see how bringing an AD to Atlanta Hawks does anything for that team. Jalen Johnson already plays the 4, sometimes the 3. So what are we doing now? Are we just going to do the same thing what we did when we had Trae Young and Jalen Johnson on the same team? What is the point of bringing an AD? And I know they wouldn't bring him there as a franchise player. God, I hope not. But AD really injured again out for the season?
Yeah, AD isn't, I mean, if it's true, truly like a body dysfunction that the guy has where he can't play a physical sport after a certain age, then we can just come out and admit it. The doctors can come out and just say, hey, man, listen, you have muscle fatigue that after a certain age, you start to become injury prone.
Yeah.
And so quit it now. But the fact of the matter is that Anthony Davis is honestly worthless. To any team that you bring him to, he is literally a salvage title. Like he is a liability wherever you bring him.
He's gonna come with baggage for sure.
That car drowned.
Yeah.
That car drowned with the engine on. Bro, let him go. Let him go.
It's so bad. I mean, LeBron didn't even want him on the team.
Put him overseas with DeMarcus Cousins. Let him play with Puerto Rico.
Shit, at this point now, he might as well just go ahead and take some advice from buddy Ben Simmons, because
nah, don't do that drama. Don't go out like that.
All right, you're right. AD does have one ring in the bubble.
He could at least go out with some dignity. DeMarcus Cousins, I believe, has one ring too. Went out with a little bit of dignity. Say he couldn't play in the league anymore, but went overseas and was shooting threes. That's what I'm saying. It's like...
Yeah, but you gotta understand, the overseas is a whole different dynamic compared to
Puerto Rico, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could just... Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis wherever he goes in the nearby countries.
Exactly what you said. He's Anthony Davis wherever he goes. He's gonna be injured. By the time he gets on the plane, they're gonna already be reporting that he broke some shit.
Well, just his presence alone, again, in these overseas team would be enough to make money from him and stuff like that. In the league, he's worthless. In our league, in the league that we watch, the NBA... he is worthless. Like, unless the man turns into a point guard and can shoot over 60% from the 3, there's no reason to have him, like, at all. Because he can't even be a defensive threat anymore because he gets injured on the defense.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I think the last injury he had it wasn't very much, honestly. I think he bumped into another player and then he held at his finger, and the next thing you know, now there are talks about the ligament potentially needing surgery. So. He was just not too long ago.
Fragile.
He was just out because of a hamstring, if I'm not mistaken. So he just has so many injuries. It's got to make you wonder. And like I said before with the Zion Williamson, is this bad product?
The Zion is a different situation. That's a different case. That guy has a women problem. He has a girl problem.
Man, I think this.
And it's crazy because I thought Ja Morant would have had more of a women problem than he does. But Zion comes out on the news like TMZ got a subscription with Zion and all the women coming out. Like,
yeah, man, it's
tough. Zion's problem is he likes to eat too much, and by eat I mean eat the box, eat the coochie too much. He got to let that go. He play some basketball. With Anthony Davis, he's frail. He's either frail, like his muscles do not like maintain anymore, or he's being a bitch. And either or, he just doesn't.
But is he being a
doesn't
bitch? If
deserve.
he being a bitch, what are you being a bitch about? Like I don't. What would you be a bitch about right now? You're on a team that has.
No, not complaining wise. I just mean like a bitch, as in everything hurts. You know what I
You
mean?
got to get this man out of here, then, dude.
You stub your toe, and it's like I got to
Like
sit out.
that's just got to stop, bro. Like you don't have enough tenure on the Mavs organization, I should say, for you to be out there talking about my pussy hurt.
Yeah, no, he's
Like
a different
it's
case,
just
bro.
ridiculous, bro. Like you got players like I think you were gonna talk about it, like Mikal Bridges. How many games did you
Mikal
got?
Bridges has never missed a game in his career.
Never missed a game in his
And
career.
Anthony Davis has had 55 injury evaluations, which is like
55.
it's like he's broken. Let's just say he's broken like
That's
damn
in his
near-
career, right? 55.
Yeah, in his career, he's missed over 250 games.
Dude, 250 games, and you got a player over here who's
There's 80
consistently
82
playing
games in the season.
1,300 plus games. Damn near about to try and break this record. He's
gonna-
far off. He's far off from the record.
But he could
But,
break it if he's this far.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you just got to start wondering when you see players that start to fall apart like this. Like, what do you do with this? Like, he's a lost cause. His value is going down, which is why I'm sure they want to trade him from the Mavericks right now. But where do you trade him
what
to?
do you do with him?
Honestly, I would send him home. Send him to Chicago. That's where he's from.
If you really want to keep him in the league, you do what Miami did to Udonis Haslem.
That's
You become an impact in the bench, and you become an impact inside the locker room. That exists for players. Like some players come in and do
I'm gonna
that.
be honest with you, man. I ain't trying to see no Anthony Davis on the bench. You better off. I'd rather see Anthony Davis in a fucking ambulance than see him on the fucking bench, bro. That's just ass, bro. I don't want to see this man on the bench.
No, he's a lost cause. He's a
Yeah,
lost. I
it's
think everybody would agree. I mean, no, actually, you know what? I'll take that back. You're gonna hear actually the feedback that we're gonna get is that Anthony Davis is not trash, and that Anthony Davis still got a lot of juice in him. The orange is squeezed, bro.
I don't know about juice left him. If anything, he's got maybe a couple of 10-point games.
He could barely shine
blocks.
with the best player in the league at the time, which
He'll
was LeBron.
definitely make the list when it comes to injuries, but I'm not seeing him make no type of all-star list in the future anymore. That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Like that's not happening anymore. And I honestly don't see Anthony Davis on a championship like team right now.
It's not like Kyrie, where like Kyrie gets hurt and you know he's gonna. But when he comes back, that's an impact, bro. Like that guy he's.
And then on top of that, when you get Kyrie back at the point guard position, now do you really need Anthony Davis? You got Cooper Flag, who ideally is supposed to play that 3-4 position. He's got some years not years. He's younger than Anthony Davis, so. If I'm the Mavs organization with a coach like Jason Kidd, when you got Mark Cuban back stepping into making decisions again, if I'm them, I'm gonna put Anthony Davis on the back seat, look to putting him in a trade to pick up another younger piece and surround him around Kyrie.
Yeah, you're just not gonna get anybody for him. So I think the best
You
option.
can get some shit for him. What you mean?
You're
You're not gonna get another all-star for Anthony Davis. Absolutely not. But you'll definitely get a couple. Bro, if I can get a CJ McCollum and a Corey Kispert for a Trae Young.
CJ McCollum has been consistently playing.
My point exactly. CJ McCollum's been consistent. Corey Kispert, I haven't really seen much of him, but I know he came out of college and he was supposed to be a good role player, not like an all-star, but a good role player. He can shoot threes. My point that I'm making is if you can get that for a Trae Young, who we already was seeing starting to fall in value based upon the fact that he wasn't doing what he wasn't doing Trae Young things. He came back. Turnovers, left and right. So if I can get a trade like that with a Trae Young, yeah, I can definitely get something for Anthony Davis. It ain't gonna be the greatest, but it'll be something.
Trae Young is worth a lot more than Anthony Davis.
I agree.
Even though Trae Young's not worth.
I agree,
worth
but on paper, Anthony Davis is a championship player.
Was a championship
You're right.
player.
Thanks for the correction. Was a championship player. I don't know how many All-Stars he has over Trae Young, but I'll be willing to bet that he probably beats him when it comes to All-Stars. Didn't he also win a Defensive Player of the Year as well, if I'm not mistaken?
He was a great defender at one point.
He might not won DPOY, but I know he definitely he's been one of the guys that's up there for all defensive team winning. So yeah, I agree with you. Right now, Trae Young is probably better than Anthony Davis right now. In this 2026 season that we're in right now, yes, Trae Young is better. But if I'm talking about value right now, Trae Young is valued higher. But if you're able to give up a Trae Young with a high value like that for a CJ McCollum and a Corey Kispert, what can I get for an Anthony Davis that may not have top tier value like he had before, but we know what we're going to get. Yes, we know he's going to get injuries. But can I incorporate an Anthony Davis as maybe my third or a fourth option on a team that is kind of sort of set, but maybe needs that?
You got to consider though
veteran?
that having Anthony Davis hurt right now with the evolution of basketball, you have power forwards, you have big men now shooting the three that can dribble.
He can shoot threes.
That can dribble. Like they're not your classical power forward. And so what's happening with Anthony Davis as he keeps getting hurt is he keeps falling behind. You have Chet Holmgren who can like turn it up. You have Segun who could like turn it up from one moment to the next, like off the dribble, easy to the basket.
Yeah,
and then
they're
you
younger-
have this
they're younger
guy
than Ross Bryant.
who's rusty. He's gonna come off the bench rusty. Bro, when you're looking at long term, as we always argue, every team looks at what can this player give me. Unless you're a championship team today, like unless that's the acquisition that you're gonna get, is the only people that can get Anthony Davis is if they're on the cusp of winning the championship
Okay.
and they need a push.
I got a little take here for you. I'm gonna give you the first team that came to mind. I already know, but I'm gonna look up here in a minute just to see what other teams I can think of. But how would you feel if you were to acquire Anthony Davis for the Golden State Warriors, for example?
No,
For a Kuminga,
no. I would rather have Kuminga crying in the bench,
you'd rather keep a
30
Kuminga,
mil, for
a
30
player
mil.
that's not playing right now,
crying in the bench.
than get an Anthony Davis.
Yeah, because at least at some point maybe he could stop crying and maybe come play.
Well, we already know
we
that's
don't
not
have that
happening.
option with Anthony Davis.
We know that's not happening. I only bring it up is because I don't know if y'all know, Jonathan Kuminga obviously recently came out and said that he requested a trade.
And I don't want Anthony Kuminga at all, but I'm just
Anthony Davis.
I mean, I don't want Jonathan Kuminga at all, but that's how much I don't want Anthony Davis.
Which says a lot, honestly. If you don't want him, I don't know how that would play a role, honestly, because I honestly don't think Draymond Green's gonna be playing that shit. Like, let's be real. He's gonna probably look at Anthony Davis and be like, "Nigga, get the fuck up."
Yeah.
Like, what is
the
this?
whole
What do you mean you
team,
hurt?
He would bring everybody down. That's a fast-paced team, and that's not the Anthony Davis that he used to be.
Yeah.
Where he can maintain like a fast speed thing.
So then, where would you put a player like an Anthony Davis? I'm trying to think of teams that he can go to. Really, I mean, at that point, are you putting him into an organization that's considered young and you have him as that vet? Not a UD, because I'm not going to say that Anthony Davis is like a UD. I can't say that. He's a better player than UD. But at some point, you currently now, yeah, even too.
I don't see it. I don't think he's had a 20-point game this year.
This
when he
year,
played.
Anthony Davis?
When he played.
I don't know if the stat off the top of my head. I'm sure we can correct that another time, but I'm sure he has. If not, then damn, you've proven me wrong.
Yeah, like the guy's struggling. I mean, granted, he is in a team that's trying to figure out their own identity. They don't have a guard, things like that. But still, I mean, you're Anthony Davis. You're supposed to dominate the game.
You're supposed to, but it shit just not working. They got a couple of injuries on the team
You've
too.
been in conversations with Giannis. You've been in conversations with Joel Embiid and all the other big men. And you're gonna fall. You fell off the branch.
Yeah, he definitely on the branch. I think also too would play a role into it. I mean, he went on to the Mavericks where
Joel
they already
Embiid's
had
still
a team.
dropping 30 after his injury.
He's not still dropping 30. He's had a couple
Every
of games
once in
where
a
he's
while, I'm saying.
getting like 20, maybe 15, but he ain't like that.
I saw like the
I
last
did mention
10
not
games.
too long ago that the Philadelphia 76ers would be my sleeper team. I did say that earlier in one of these episodes. I don't remember which one, but I know I said it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have
So
a good team.
they looking decent, but we're gonna move on to another player that has been in trade talks. Someone that I've conversated with a couple people over the weeks about. Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzly, recently came out, saying that he wants to be in Memphis. He wants to stay on the team. He's got it tatted on his back. I don't know what that matters, but anyways, it's just like
too.
it's like
He's like, hey, I already affirmed it. It's tatted on my back.
that don't mean shit. It's just Ja Morant. He's been a problem since he's been in Memphis, honestly, both on the court and off the court. And I mean, like, on the court, he's been a problem where he can give you points, he can give you some scoring. But off the court, he's going to give you problems, too, because he can't stay out of social media. He can't stay out of either it's a gun video or it's some shit that he said on social media that was taken out of context or in context. Whatever the case is, he's just always in the media. He obviously took that silence at one point where he got off of social media and actually turned everything off to clear his head.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is, and I mean, I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this, but I don't think Ja Morant has done anything wrong.
With what?
With his off the court stuff and on the court thing. So this is my problem. I feel like he's the guinea pig that we're going to set an example with. But if LeBron James decides to shoot a 3 from the logo and make the gun signal, cock, put it up, like no one says anything about it.
That's
We have
no
many
different, though.
players.
There's
We
no
have
context there.
We have many players in the league who have a history of doing negative stuff, being allowed to continue to do those things because it doesn't have anything to do with the game.
Yeah, but the difference
So like
there.
John Morant showing off a firearm on video, whether again it was on purpose or not, if it was not on purpose, I think it was silly for whoever had the camera, whatever the case is. If it's on purpose, so what?
Well, there's a lot of things. It's not really a so what thing.
Explain to me where the wrongness comes with doing that.
Well, the wrong is, I mean, you're a public figure for starters.
But what's illegal about showing a firearm as a public figure?
I'm pretty sure it's not about having the firearm. I believe it was where he had the firearm at the time. I believe it was because of where he had it.
I think it was like he was I think it was he brandished it. What they would consider, but then now you would get in trouble with the law. So if the law is not arresting John Morant and is not questioning John Morant for his actions, then the NBA, and I get it, NBA is a private organization in a sense. They have their own standards.
Public.
They have their own way of doing things. But you gotta have an even playing field. You can't allow Draymond Green to put 4 people in a headlock and punch Jordan Poole. And we know he got like 50 guns in his house. He just doesn't show it.
It's not a different circumstance, though. You're talking about all those things happened while with the team. Those were all team events, practice, on the court, when you're playing the game. It's the same as if you're in, for example, UFC. You throwing punches and you stop throwing punches. Oh,
which should make it worse.
Because
when you're off the court, you should be able to live like a normal life
but back
to a certain extent.
Yeah, I agree with you. You should, but they're not normal people. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. Like you can't expect to be Michael Jordan and walk out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk out naked and no one's gonna see it."
I can tell you many players not only in the NBA but across America that own firearms and actually use it to kill things.
I'm sure they do.
There's a guy from the Patriots. One of the blocks for Tom Brady when he was there, he used to say he would hunt. I think it wasn't Gronk. No, it was one of the blockers. He said he used to hunt on the acreage that's behind the New England Patriots stadium.
Yeah,
and he used to bring the gun into the stadium, and the owner would tell him, "Yo, you're not supposed to be bringing a gun." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm just going. You're not supposed to be doing this." And he'll go and he'll do it anyway.
That's different, though.
So this is where I'm saying
it's a public view. You see how you just mentioned the guy that was blocking the lineman? You don't know his name because of the simple fact
it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother.
Travis Kelce?
Yes.
Was on the Patriots?
Yeah. Which one of them was on the Patriots?
Neither of them.
One of them was it was somebody from the Patriots that I seen recently came out, and I'll find the video to show you that he was always, and he's a well-known figure, he was always pushed back from hunting, trying to hunt. They were like, "Yo, you're not supposed to bring a firearm into the New England stadium." And he's like, "I'm not bringing it inside."
Yeah, but you gotta understand that too, that's one, history, old time. Times are always gonna be changing. And the times of when John Morant was out there with this video, we were at a high alert of things that are being posted, taken out of context. All that matters is that you are an NBA player. One, you're a new NBA player, you're a young star, potential star to be whatever the case may be, whatever the future looks like for you. You hold a specific image. You may not want that image. You may not like that image. This is the image that you're being betrayed because this is what you decided to go to. You're in the NBA. You know there's going to be social media. There's cameras everywhere. Even when you're not in the NBA and you're outside and you're walking or you're with your daughter.
It just brings me back to the point that he did not do anything wrong.
I'm not saying he did anything.
He's just part of an organization.
You're right. He
that decided to pick on him.
You're right. He didn't do anything wrong, but his actions after the fact.
Gilbert Arenas brought a gun to the locker room.
And what happened
with the intention he got suspended.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they didn't say, "Yo, you can't post no more guns." They didn't do all these other they didn't say you can't do the gun signal.
Again, he got suspended, so he had ramifications for what he did.
And so
but this was also way back when. Times are changing again. You can't go based off what happened back in that time
under
to now.
a new commissioner.
You gotta look at the NBA now. The NBA is under a micro. I mean, look what just happened with the whole betting. They're cracking everyone down for fucking betting now.
Well, that's it's a little different. You're bringing a lot of the money.
So
for a lot of
the
people.
NBA, the organization is looked at a microscope. They're on a freaking they're on a show essentially.
I would argue that that's bringing you good publicity. Having John Morant do his stunts.
No, you're crazy. I don't know about good
When that
publicity.
man started to do the grenade thing and throw it in the crowd and do this,
It's all
I
great.
was going crazy.
Hey, it's all fun and games when you start doing those celebrations, and the next thing you know, you got a kid that's in school that's probably got a dad or someone in the government or whatever that
the kid was
got
gonna
military background.
do it anyways. It
And
wasn't
now
John Morant that
You
influenced him.
say that, but that's
It's
again,
not John Morant. It's not
But again-
the rap. So then are we gonna say it's the rappers as well? It's a combination of basketball,
it's
the
the
rappers,
world we live
the
in.
hood,
it's the world we it's the truth. It's the world we live in.
But it's not attributed to John Morant because he brandished it and he's a public figure and because he gets to do it.
But you
other
have to
people gets
understand, if
encouraged.
you know that you're a public figure, first of all, for someone that also he has a daughter. So if you know you're a public figure, you know you have kids that watch you. Kids are gonna soak everything up like a sponge. So if you know that you're out there as a public figure and you're doing these things, all right, maybe the first time you catch me doing that, all right, cool, don't do it, all right, whatever. Maybe be a little bit more cautious and aware of when you're doing it and where those locations are. I don't think it was his fault, the beginning, when the video happened and when it was released. That was a circumstance. He was probably showing it to someone, whatever the case may be, someone caught it on camera. Now people are blowing up because they see, oh, John Morant, a famous basketball player, is holding a firearm at the time when firearms were being talked about, where they were trying to get rid of firearms in a sense. So it's at a, you got to understand that
you can't make everybody happy.
of course
There
not.
were some people cheering him on.
No, not everyone's gonna be happy. No one's ever all happy when it comes to any situation. There's always gonna be a losing end and there's gonna be a winning end. That's just how the case works all the time. In this case, he was on the losing end. Was he made an example? Well, 100%, because they wanted to make it aware that this isn't something that we want people thinking that when they come in the NBA, this is something we're cool with. We're okay with waving guns and in videos. They don't know what the context was. I don't know the full context on top of my head right now, but it's at the moment in time where they saw that, they recognize it. Oh, that's one of my employees waving a gun. I don't know what's going on. Let me find out.
It was a music video. It was a video where the music was playing in the background, and
All
he
kinds
was
of stuff.
reenacting kind of what the rapper was saying with
context.
the gun in his hand.
It's all about context. I'm with
so
you.
I actually blame the downfall of Memphis and the whole drama of John Morant shit not on John Morant, on Memphis
Oh, no, I'm
for their
blaming-
lack of ability
It's
to
both sides.
handle.
It's both sides.
To handle the fire. Listen, John Morant was a blessing to the Memphis. He took them very far many times.
You're forgetting the pieces that they had on that team. It wasn't just him.
John Morant was the most important person on that team. Stop playing. Are you
the-
dead ass? Who else are you? Are you gonna say Desmond Bain?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you look it up?
Yeah.
Desmond Bain did not lead in anything
I didn't say
over
he-
John Morant.
I didn't.
So then where's
you
the
gotta
impact?
hear what I said. Hear what I said, because I didn't say he was better than or led in anything.
Yeah, you did say that.
No,
I
did
asked
not.
you that.
No, I did not. What I said is that he was a part of that team. He's a team that helped. It wasn't all John Morant that did
Desmond
everything.
Bain is doing better now than he has
100%.
ever did in Memphis.
100%.
Yeah, so
But Desmond Bain was a part of that team that led them as far as they did in the playoffs. It wasn't all just John Morant. John Morant didn't go out there and drop 40 points every damn night.
bro, John Morant was the best player in the league.
He was the
at
best
that
player on
time.
that team, but he wasn't the
He
only
was
player on that
top
team.
5 best player in the league
And
at that
that
point.
still doesn't say that doesn't prove anything what I just said.
What do you mean?
I just said that Desmond Bain was a part of that team. He's a part of that.
He was not the reason why John Morant had like 7 game winners during these times.
So
he was winning games single-handedly.
So hang on. So what you're saying,
Did
you're arguing.
you forget John Morant?
So where you're arguing is that John Morant did it all. He didn't have any help.
John Morant had key figures, just like Steph Curry has a Draymond Green on his team. Does that mean Draymond Green gets to fucking walk around? No, it's fucking Steph Curry's team.
So if John Morant,
who's the franchise player on that team?
wait.
Who was the franchise player on that team?
If John Morant is so good and he's that player that you speak of that led them to the playoffs, why is he not doing that now?
Because every superhero needs people around him.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But that doesn't discredit the fact that he is the main guy in the team.
And I didn't say he's not
nobody
the main
wins
guy.
it. Nobody ever
You're
wins it
not-
by
you're not
themselves.
hearing me.
Okay,
I'm not saying
so
he's
then
not the
what's
main
the
guy.
purpose of it if nobody ever wins it by themselves?
I'm not saying he's the main guy, and we've already argued and said that you can't win it all by yourself.
Correct. So then what's the whole purpose? He was the main guy on that team, the most impactful person on that team.
Which I agree with already.
He was top 5 players in the league at that time.
Which I agreed already.
Okay? And nobody on his team even made the fucking All-Star during the time where Ja Morant was
what is
was
your
playing.
argument? What's your argument?
My argument is Memphis fucked Ja Morant up. Ja Morant right now is still a fucking hooper, just the same way as Ja Morant's been hooping 2 years ago.
I wouldn't say he's a hooper.
How is he not?
He's averaging 19 points per game.
on a team that he fucking hates.
I understand that.
So imagine if
but
he
he's
goes
still
to
on
a
the team.
Imagine if
he's
he goes
still on
to
the team.
Imagine if he goes to an environment where he actually loves it.
I understand that.
He's going to be. He's a superstar.
And I get
that
all
is
those
a
things, but
superstar player.
The point that I'm making is you're saying that Memphis failed Ja Morant. Okay, yeah, we could say Memphis failed Ja Morant, but it was also his part as well. Turn it around. What do you mean? You're the franchise player. Turn it around.
His job is to play on the court.
I agree with you, but his job. But we've already seen
You guys are talking to me about what he did outside.
We know that basketball isn't just about playing basketball when it comes to the NBA. There's a lot more than just basketball.
For some players,
As a franchise player,
all it is. For Steph
for
Curry,
Steph Curry, you have
all
to
he
control
has
both.
to, for Steph Curry, all he has to do is hide when he goes home and play basketball.
So if Steph Curry is out waving a gun in a video,
No one would give a fuck.
really?
No one would give a fuck.
No, you're insane.
Nike would drop him. Under Armour would drop him, and Jordan would pick him up. It's Steph Curry, bro.
Whoever picks my point that I'm making, I'm not making the point that who's better, who's not. The point that I'm making essentially is that they set an example, and this is what would have happened to any player. The only player I can think of this probably wouldn't have happened to is maybe a LeBron, and that's just because of the name itself. But any other player this would have happened to, they would have still been caused into some kind of problems. Either a suspension would have happened. Now, like I said, yes, I agree with you that Ja Morant was set an example because, again, I don't remember if he was a rookie, but I know he was a young star in the league. You're a young star in a league of veterans that already know what the game is, and you out here doing this? Nah, I can't have that. That's what happened. They made him an example. Yeah, you're right. But on both parties got to play ball.
You could take Ja Morant does have to take some type of accountability.
That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying
Some type.
That's all I'm saying.
But guys,
that's it.
but understand, Ja Morant is a number to an organization that is a cogwheel, full in control of the influence of how they propose to their players, right? If you want Ja Morant to act a different way, influence him differently. Like, don't bash him to the ground when he makes a mistake.
So
Have his back, influence, lead him in a different path.
let's say
you're a bigger organization than the number player. This player is just a contributor to you.
So you're the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies right now. What do you do?
I'm trading Ja Morant. He don't want to be here. It's over.
No.
It's over.
Back it up. I'm not talking about the whole it's over with trading him. Based on what you're saying, you're doing something for Ja Morant to help him out.
Ja Morant's coming under my wing. If I'm the coach,
But what are you doing? What are you bringing to him?
I'm hanging out with him.
No, man. I mean, like, what players are you bringing into the team to get them into the playoff contentions
Right
again?
now,
Essentially, that's what you would
no,
need.
you can't do that
Not
anymore.
now. I'm talking about, you just mentioned not too long ago that if I was Ja Morant and how Memphis failed him and they didn't get him the support that he needed, what would you have done at that time? Instead of bashing him, like you said, or kicking him when he was down, like you said, what would you have done instead?
Supported him.
Okay.
The league suspended him. The team didn't suspend him. The league suspended him. Fine. Through that time, support him. Don't bash him. He went again through it the second time. You bashed him even more. When he comes back, I get it's the league suspending him. It's not Memphis. But at the end of the day, when he comes,
I think it might have been, I think that's
the second one might have been Memphis, but the first one is definitely the league because Adam Silver came out. Actually, both of them. It was Adam Silver. Remember, he said, "Yo, if he does it again, I'm gonna have to suspend him." It's not. It was Adam Silver kind of navigating that whole thing. But the whole point is, you turned your back on your franchise player during a crucial point of his career. That player is not going to be the same for you anymore. What you should have done hindsight.
He also did have injury. But let's not leave that out. That wasn't his fault.
I don't think at that point he had any injuries.
No, it was, he had the torn labrum.
And he was still dunking on people. I remember, yes.
With the torn labrum?
Bro, if you check his wingspan, one of his arms is actually like way longer than the other one.
No, he wasn't dunking with a torn labrum, bro.
He was dunking with the other hand.
No, dude, he was out. When he had the torn labrum, he was out.
I get you, but prior to that, there's always been rumors of him being hurt. When he would dunk the ball, he'd do these crazy dunks, and then he'd come back down like something was wrong. It's like, oh, like
no,
shit.
I'm referring to when he
The
was
time
actually
he was
injured
actually
and
hurt.
out. Yeah.
The time he was actually hurt.
Yeah.
That torn labrum just came from fucking all the posterized he did. He
Yeah,
did
of
like
course.
fucking 70 of them.
Of course, and that's concerning.
Okay, so all we have to do is say, hey, Ja Morant, lay it up a little more. Stop trying to make everybody a highlight tape.
Or we could,
and then
we could pass the ball a little bit.
Not if, again, you were the one winning the game. Like, it was
Jaren Jackson Jr. was Defensive Player of the Year on that team.
defensive, you said.
Yes.
So that
defensive
has
player.
nothing to do with passing the ball.
Wait,
I'm not passing him the ball.
Let me finish. You have other players on that team that you can use as an asset to score on. You can't just be the only guy.
With the last 2 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, we're talking about last 2 minutes. I'm not talking about last 2. I was talking about like the game.
Yeah, I'm
before.
not. No, I can even go down to the last 10 seconds, which would be the
I'm not-
last shot. That's always
The
Ja
la- the-
Morant.
anytime
but the
you-
last 2 minutes,
Even if it's last.
even
I'm
last
not
2
giving it a
minutes,
shot.
even last 5 minutes of a tie game is Ja Morant. Let's do it around you.
Yeah, right now with this team, that's the best person they're gonna have.
It's not even just with this team, and he's not gonna do it anymore. It's a wrap for Ja Morant and Memphis Grizzlies. They're better off
Yeah, the
letting
writing's
him
on
go.
the wall, you know.
Huh?
The writing's on the wall essentially. When
Bro,
it comes
you
to
got. Do you consider Ja Morant a superstar?
a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
well-
some people say they don't, and that
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they're
I'm
considering
saying
it.
all-star.
They're saying it based on his circumstance. Now, he's a franchise player,
Yeah, he's a franchise.
so he's a superstar. So he's a superstar. His circumstance does not demote him. He's still him. He's still dunking on every single person in the league today.
That could be argued. He's not the same as he was when he first came into the league.
He might not be able to dunk on every player in your team.
He hasn't been dunking like how he used to, and his points
because
per
he's
game has gone down,
Because
and his 3-point percentage has gone down. His numbers have gone down a little bit. It's not terrible, but they've gone down.
what are you basing this off of? His fucking current circumstance, Khalil, which
No,
is
I'm
what we're
basing it off-
discussing.
I'm going based off of the
A
previous
current season.
I'm going on based off of previous seasons. Prior seasons he played.
The last 2 years,
He's had better points per game than he's got right now.
he's been dealing with this gun thing for the last 2 years.
No, not this past 2 years. He's been
It
playing all
wasn't just
season-
last season.
He was playing all season long. That's in the past now. I'm talking about right now. Right now, what's going on? He's got lows.
He
Points
is in
per
a
game
team that he
down.
does not want to be in.
And I understand that.
So it doesn't matter. That's where his low comes
So
from.
I'm on a team that I don't want to be on, so I'm going to make my numbers tank.
Yes, I don't fuck with your loyalty. I'm not gonna fucking give you shit.
So I'm going to decrease my value.
Yes.
To do what?
You're not decreasing your value because
Absolutely.
everybody knows who you
You
are.
decreasing your value.
Bro,
Look
what
at
do you-
Anthony Davis. Look at Trae Young. They decreased in value because their scoring went down.
Bro, listen, bro. How many teams are in the league right now?
30?
30? Every single one will pick a Ja Morant up in free agency. Every single fucking team in the league.
You're arguing
Khalil.
the wrong thing. I didn't say anything about him not being picked up.
So this is what I'm telling you. Act whoever you want to act with this team. Fuck this team because their loyalty was not presented, because your value does not go down, because at the end of the day, if you're released tomorrow, if you're released in a year from now, you're still fucking Ja Morant. And any team in the league will fucking pick you up.
Again, I didn't say him not getting picked up. No one said he's not going to get picked up.
He is still going to be a valuable asset to any team in the league, all 30.
And I didn't say he wouldn't be a valuable asset. I said his value went down. That's all I said. It's his value went down. I didn't say he's not going to get picked up if he were to go into free agency. I didn't say that he was a bad player. I didn't say he wasn't an all-star. I agree with you on all those things. Everything you just said, I'd agreed on. We're not at a disagreement here.
So what are you talking about when you mean asset? Like what do you mean that what went down?
What do you mean? His efficiency went down.
He is, you're basing it off of a circumstance, bro.
How am I basing it off for circumstance?
He is
I'm
in
going
a
based
team
off of
that
the
he does
season.
not want to play in.
And
bro.
exactly like I said, so if
does
you're on a
that
team-
not? You just said that there's
So
more to basketball
if
than
you're-
just playing basketball.
So if you're on a team and I'm not scoring because I don't want to be
If
here.
you're in a job that you don't want to fucking be in, you're not going to perform, Khalil.
No, I am going to perform because I'm not going to have the job.
Not if you're to an extent to like him where the loyalty was fucking tarnished, bro.
I'm not going to let
You're
the
gonna
job-
leave,
It
nigga.
doesn't-
You're gonna leave.
It don't matter what job or career I'm in. I'm not going to let that company ruin me.
You're gonna
what I'm
leave.
doing.
Exactly. You're gonna leave. If
That's
they
not
do
what-
that to you, you're
that's
gonna
not what
leave.
we're talking about here. What I'm talking about is solely that Ja Morant's efficiency has gone down. That's all I said.
And efficiency is based on where you play,
Oh no, efficiency is how you play.
where you're playing as
No,
well,
it's how you play.
and where are you play, your environment.
It's
If he's playing with a whole bunch of cab drivers, right? Would his efficiency be more?
that wouldn't have anything to do with the rest of the team. His efficiency is based on his play, how he plays, what he does when he goes
if
out.
he's
there.
having organizational problems with Memphis, what is to say that he's not also having peer problems as well? What's to say he's not having the right conversations with people on his team and they're not seeing eye to eye with certain things? What's to say that his environment is so shitty that his performance is being reflective to that? Again, a player under this team, under this coaching staff, can be one player and be completely different, moved under a different program and a different coaching staff that cares for that individual.
I
So
agree.
obviously, Memphis does not give a flying fuck about him. Let him go. That's what I'm saying. That's why his performance is tanking, because it shows to me and you, Memphis does not care about him. How do you think he feels?
I agree with you.
So then we're human. It doesn't matter if he's 26 years old. He's a kid.
But I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay, so then would you agree of the fact that emotions is playing a part on his performance?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and is it right to have emotions based on the loyalty being broken with a team that I fucking put on a map?
At the end of the day, this is your job. You signed up for the signed contract for. I paid you to play basketball. How you want to play it? That's on you.
And you see what we get back from Ja Morant? This is what we put. All right, fuck you. And I'm out of here.
Players are the same.
And
way
I'm out of
too.
here. That's why we're
It's
talking.
the-
That's
it's-
why we're having this conversation about trade talk.
It's the same as if a player wants to leave a team to go play for another team for more money. Where's their loyalty? They only want the money.
But that doesn't disregard that doesn't say the player he's not wrong. He's wrong. If the team has provided you loyalty, you reward back with loyalty. That has nothing to do with
that's the
money.
point. So if a team is rewarding you loyalty, you've been with them for years, whatever the case is, y'all won things together, but they don't want to pay you.
Then they're breaking your loyalty.
That's the point I'm getting at. So now that loyalty is
Well, what's to say pay though? Because again, that now is subjective. Because pay is one of those, a value thing is one of those things that's like, I feel like I'm worth a certain amount of money.
That's how.
And because of that,
goes.
and
though.
because of that, the shit don't work. That's a lack of loyalty. Now we got to dig in deeper to find who lacked it more.
we've seen it though with players.
A player, for instance, Steph Curry took a pay cut to bring KD in. A player who lacked loyalty at that time would be like, I don't give a fuck. No. I need my money. That's the difference. Klay Thompson as well got pushed back on where he was supposed to get his extension. He said, I'll wait back on it so that we can be able to win this. That's loyalty to a team, and a team providing loyalty back by when that time came, giving him his max, his veteran max, which he was given before he was traded.
But where did
Same thing with Draymond Green.
But where did
Yo, hold this little bit of money down. Be loyal to us, please, so we can win this chip, get our bag up, and then we're gonna cash you out. And they cashed him out. And why is the loyalty the way it is in Golden State?
That's the point I'm making though, is that we've seen players go to another team for more money. We've seen it happen.
But they're wrong for that if they're given loyalty.
I'm not saying they're right for it. I'm bringing it up to the point that it happens on both ends, both on the
If
players.
you're
end.
leaving because of money, you're greedy.
Again,
You're greedy.
I'm agreeing with you, but we've seen it happen. We've seen players go to another team because maybe the current team who they've been loyal to have put in games, have been injured, have been off injury, put in blood, sweat, and tears into the organization to then when it comes to extension, not too sure. Not sure if we're really going to go your way. We think we're going a different direction. And then we've seen the talks of All right, there's a hold on extension. All right, now we're trading. We've seen it happen with players before.
Going back to the initial point of the conversation, which was Memphis Grizzlies trade talk rumors with Ja Morant, that's the whole point with the whole argument is even Memphis having the consideration to trade Ja Morant, disregard everything that franchise player did for you during that time and just say, let me put him on the market. He was comparable to Steph Curry.
Who?
During an era. During that time.
Who?
Ja Morant nearly fucking knocked Steph Curry out multiple times.
In what sense you mean compare?
In playoff competition. He averaged more than him.
We can look that up.
I'm a Steph Curry fan. I'm the Steph Curry fan. I'm telling you because I cried fucking times, many times, when Ja Morant would come and fucking do a buzzer beater. Ja Morant is very, very impactful, bro. The loyalty was ruined on the Memphis side. Now he needs to be traded and he needs to tender love and care, whatever other organization that takes him, so that he can build up his confidence to be able to be the Ja Morant that he's supposed to be.
I sure hope so.
Ja Morant is better than Anthony Edwards, bro.
Hey, I hope so. I mean, he's not better than Anthony Edwards.
He's better than Anthony. He's done better things than Anthony Edwards has done. He has done more for my league. For my world, my basketball experience, Ja Morant has been more electric than Anthony Edwards.
Ja Morant never made it to the Western Conference Finals.
And because Anthony Edwards did with two big mans,
don't matter. He still made it.
With mad support, that's different, bro. That's different.
At the end of the day, they're always
and also Anthony Edwards never had to deal with prime Steph Curry, who was the one that knocked Ja Morant off every single time.
Yeah, but
so it wasn't fair. It was not fair. It's not the same league.
Anthony Edwards is definitely better than Ja Morant. He's a better shooter, for sure. Better defender, for sure. Ja Morant's not a better shooter. He doesn't really have a shot just yet. He's still kind of really developing that shot. Now his mid-range has gotten a little bit better, but if we're talking about like scorer-wise, Anthony Edwards is taking the cake on that one, for sure. You're getting way more offensive style out of Anthony Edwards than you are with Ja Morant. We know what Ja Morant's going to do. He's going to drive to the paint. He's a great finisher. But Anthony Edwards is also the same, too.
He's not a better finisher than Ja Morant.
No, he's not a better finisher than Ja Morant. I agree with you. But he also does drive to the rim. He gets you your layups. And three-point game, we know, beats twos. We know how that works. He has a better bag when it comes to shooting from outside the rim.
Ja Morant is a bigger threat
than Anthony Edwards?
On the presence on the court.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But for the sake of time, though, we do got to move on, boss man. LaMelo Ball. Trade talks, impactful player. I haven't heard any trade talks about LaMelo Ball, but I actually wanted to pick your brain a little bit and hear a little about what you felt about LaMelo Ball. Do you think that organization, the Hornets, can partner anyone up with him? Or do you where do you think lies with the LaMelo Ball right now? He's been playing a lot. He's been playing like really well right now. He's been saying that he's been balling like he's back at Chino. So it's interesting, but obviously they're missing a lot of pieces. They don't have a solid team around him just yet. I don't think they need to move on from LaMelo. I think LaMelo is good in the Hornets organization. I think what's bad is the Hornets organization. They need more vets on that team. They need more of an identity aside from just LaMelo Ball chucking up shots. And he's making them, but it's not helping them get very far. They're winning games, but not the ones they need to win.
Yeah, I mean, it would be too much restructuring to restructure for LaMelo Ball for that team to be.
And they lost their rookie too, Con Knipple.
It's not a big market team, so you're not going to have superstars want to go to that team to play with him.
Charlotte.
So the biggest thing that, I mean, again, for Charlotte, bro, it's starting to become obvious for these teams. Mm-hmm. Like with the exception of Milwaukee, because they had literally the best player at the time, Giannis. Mm-hmm. You're not competing. You're not going to be in the conversation. As much as we sprinkle you in just for rumor talk or just to, add some spice to things, you're not competing for anything. And so LaMelo Ball right now, I think he's only like his fifth or sixth season.
You got it.
You're wasting your talent. If you're 6 years in, every single superstar or every single franchise player gave us some sort of success.
Yeah, he needs help there. I mean,
I think he just needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I think he needs to go somewhere that's already developed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like Houston.
If they're not gonna get him some like help, like ASAP, like a star out there, if that's even possible, then yeah, he's gonna have to go to a team that's already kind of set and needs a point guard. I could see him maybe going to like a team like, I was gonna say Houston, because we really don't know what's going on with Fred VanVleet when he comes back, and when he does come back, are they gonna trade him? Are they gonna keep him? I would think they would keep him because it makes the most sense. But I
would
don't know.
keep him
I
and
don't know if they look at it as an opportunity. Like,
I don't
oh,
think they have the money though, so I think we're gonna have to look into like money situation because LaMelo Ball is a high price tag.
you end up sending him to a place like Portland, maybe,
Yeah, he's a high price tag, and so unless somebody's willing to take a pay
or
cut,
Miami. I could see him being in Miami potentially.
again, it's all it's all based on their current salary thing because LaMelo Ball is a max contract player coming up.
I would
you
say
will have to max him out.
I would say
We're talking 300, 400 mil for 7, 10 years.
I say with LaMelo Ball,
Five.
you can probably put him on the Heat for a trade for Tyler Hero. It's not an even trade. You would have to add a lot more pieces to it as well. Because obviously they're not the same caliber player. LaMelo Ball, obviously a better ball player with Tyler Hero. So I don't know who else you would attach that. Maybe you roll in Jaime Jaquez Jr. as well. Put him on that team with that trade as well, and then you pick a LaMelo Ball. They don't really need a Davion Mitchell, who's their current point guard right now that starts for the Miami Heat. I think if you're going to get a point guard already, I would probably rope in trading 3 players for LaMelo. Whatever you can do to bring that match that salary, honestly, is what I would do. And here's why. Right now, they don't have a point guard that's really efficient enough. LaMelo is going to bring you that type of offense. Right now, Bam Adebayo is having issues in Miami Heat between the power forward and the center position because they got Khalil Ware out there. So they don't really know what they want to do between putting them out there. Another issue is Eric Spoelstra likes small ball. He's a small ball kind of player. Like, he likes the smaller guys being out there, hacking, whacking, shooting threes, getting scrappy. Like, that's what he likes, which is why he likes and prefers Bam Adebayo at the center position. Because they've been talking a lot recently about Khalil Ware and why Eric Spoelstra hasn't had him out there and given him enough minutes. I mean, he's a threat. He's a 7-footer. He can shoot the ball. Not he's saying he's a 3-point shooter, but he can shoot the ball. He gives a paint presence. So I wouldn't mind seeing LaMelo Ball on the Miami Heat team, but again, they would have to give up a couple of pieces. And again, Eric Spoelstra would have to figure out that center matchup between Bam and Khalil Ware, because if you can't figure that out, if Bam can't get comfortable at the power forward position and start getting some more shots up, then Miami might have to look into considering to part ways with Bam, to be honest with you. And that's a bold statement to make because of all the things that he's done for that organization. But at the end of the day, you're here because you guys want to get a championship. With what you have right now, if you were to bring in a piece like LaMelo Ball, would that work with the Bam Adebayo? Is that going to get you a championship? I don't think so.
No, I think LaMelo Ball is more. I know he's a point guard, and I know he could get high assists. He's very savvy with the ball.
He's shifty.
But he requires the ball a lot.
So a shit ton.
So to me, he's very similar to, and I mean, he's way better than. But as far as like where I feel like he would under what wing he would do good is like Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is under the LeBron James and Luka Doncic umbrella, so he gets to like kind of be savvy. He doesn't have to worry about passing. He could we could be down by 10 and we ain't stressing. Let me take this shot. So LaMelo Ball, in order for him to thrive and be successful and efficient for organization, I would have to say he would have to go to a already developed and competing team.
And that team would have to be willing to have him be the guy in a sense. And
I mean, not necessarily the guy, but at least accept him for what he does.
You know that if you have him on your team, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. So you have to be willing to accept that.
Yeah, but for instance, if you took out Austin Reeves out the Lakers and you brought LaMelo Ball into the Lakers, for instance,
with Luka?
With Luka and with LeBron, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, and you took out Austin Reeves, you would just bench LaMelo Ball when it's time for Luka to get dirty. Because LaMelo Ball is not that much of an asset for you on the defensive side. And if what you want is to activate your franchise, your main player, your LeBron-Luka combo, whatever it is that is working for the Lakers, that's where Austin Reeves takes a step back and allows the main guys to play. So same thing with LaMelo. LaMelo Ball is not a superstar player yet. He could be potentially, but he doesn't have a lot in his bag.
Consistency. He's missing consistency.
He doesn't have a lot in his bag.
And in his first couple of years in the league, injuries.
He's just tall.
Didn't play. Yeah, he's tall. He's 6'7", if I'm not mistaken.
He's
tall
just tall, so it's hard to block him. It's hard to guard his shot, and he's confident.
And we've seen some of these taller guards that can manipulate the offense. I mean, you got Kate Cunningham, 6'6", even Josh Giddey over in the Chicago Bulls. He's playing point guard, and somehow, some way, he's able to get triple doubles up. So that height at a point guard position, those 6'5" and up, 6'6" and up, I should say, really.
That's why. That's why when PJ Washington was there, it worked somewhat for his advantage as far as the assist or like his passing, because he just kept doing lobs whenever they would double team him. PJ Washington
LaMelo was kind of like a Luka in a sense. Like they both need a solid big man. You get them a solid big man, they can make that big man better. Because it's like DeAndre Ayton right now with the Lakers. He's only looking better than he was last year because of Luka.
Correct. But I mean, to give LaMelo Ball an opportunity to compete for a championship, I don't think he's a player you can build around in a small market team like the Hornets.
Yeah, not unless that team is stacked. Like it's like an OKC kind of scenario.
Yeah. And I mean, OKC, that was a perfect case scenario. I think they drafted everybody. They
Made
were
a couple
close.
good trades too.
Yeah, they were all close since young.
The trade with Paul George that really that started everything. That was a domino effect, really.
Yeah, because SGA was drafted by Clippers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, he would, for LaMelo and for his success, he would have to go somewhere. As far as what the Wizards can get, beggars can't be choosers, bro. And I think Wizards very similar to you mentioned the Pelicans.
If the Wizards could get Trae Young, I don't know who can get LaMelo.
You mentioned the Pelicans. You mentioned the Wizards. These teams are gonna have to rebuild from scratch and get like OKC did.
I could see him going maybe to the Raptors. That'd be a pretty solid pickup. They trade for I thought about this the other day. I don't know if you picked the LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets and you brought him to the Raptors, who you trade for? I thought in my mind, I would think the trade would be you're gonna trade either RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley, or Brandon Ingram and Immanuel Quickley. Only reason being is because it seems like when RJ Barrett's out there with that particular team, he actually is up. He matters when he's out there. Not saying Brandon Ingram doesn't matter just as much, but it seems like the team is leaning more in on having a RJ Barrett over the Brandon Ingram. So if the trade were to happen where they could acquire LaMelo Ball, Immanuel Quickley is going for sure. Now the other person, I don't know if it's going to be RJ Barrett or Brandon Ingram. If I'm the Charlotte Hornets and I guess you want a player that's going to get you your buckets and you can maybe develop around or have an option on that team, I personally think you would want to go for Brandon Ingram because I think he's a better shooter, in my opinion. Mid-range shooter, three-point shooter. I mean, he's got a smooth shot, honestly. So I would bet more if they were to be open to a trade, you're going to pick up players like Immanuel Quickley and Brandon Ingram because, one, you're not going to sacrifice offense when you get those two. Immanuel Quickley, he can shoot threes. You're not going to pick up Immanuel Quickley with the sense he might actually start. He might be the point guard because they got Brandon Miller over there. So he might end up being the point guard, and then you would have Brandon Ingram at the 3 position, Miles Bridges at the 4 and the 5, whoever the fuck they got right now. I'm sure they'll shop around for that too.
Still not a
it's not enough.
Still not a top 10 team.
It's not enough, not at all. Yeah. I'm just thinking more so in a imaginative environment. If that was a potential that they were in talks of a trade, what players would be involved in that trade?
Yeah,
that's
again another tax write-off team, very similar to Washington.
You've seen a lot of that though. It sucks seeing all these teams that are honestly at the bottom of the list in the Eastern and Western Conference that just can't seem to make a change. The Pelicans, they can't seem to make a change. The Hornets, they can't seem to make a change. The Wizards, they can't make a change. Portland, honestly, since they lost Damian Lillard, I don't see them to be relevant, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what you do in an organization like the NBA to not make these teams better, but where these GMs and these office people can actually figure shit out, because it's got to be depressing to play on these teams that have no culture, like no history whatsoever. Like imagine you play for a team and no one on that team has ever been to a championship, or let alone been in the atmosphere of the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's sad, honestly.
And that's
an embarrassment.
that contributes to the fact where there's stagnation. That's why he's stagnating. He's not going anywhere in that team. It doesn't matter who you bring to that team, unless you bring a superstar.
And the crazy thing about the Hornets is that at one point the owner of the Hornets was, minor owner, I believe. I don't think he was the majority owner, but Michael Jordan. He used to be one of the owners on that team, and shortly after LaMelo Ball, not saying LaMelo Ball was a direct correlation to this, however, got drafted, maybe I think a year, 2 years after being drafted. Shortly after, you see the dismissal. Well, not the dismissal. He walked away from the Charlotte Hornets. So if the GOAT, whatever y'all want to call him, doesn't see any type of ROI on the Charlotte Hornets, then how do you save that fucking organization? And again, one man's opinion, but that man is Michael Jordan. If they can't get that shit figured out with him as the owner,
and he's overseeing everything. He's like, this is not going to work.
Like, what do you do next? At that point, that's a slap in my face. Like, fuck, I just lost Michael Jordan as a minority owner. And he's basically saying, like, this ain't it. That's a problem. That's the problem. The organization needs to be rebranded, or y'all need to be firing whoever works in the front office, because something is not working. You can't tell me every year you're drafting. They got Brandon Miller one time, first round pick. Got LaMelo Ball, he was also a first round pick. Like, they get first round picks, but
you need to get them close together. So you like OKC did,
yeah,
like Golden State did,
and you need to be able to develop these players. Don't put these players on this team just to develop them, just for them to develop and then go to another team to be better on.
Correct.
That's what they do.
Correct.
At one point, that's what the Orlando Magic was. They were just a stomping ground for all these great superstars: Tracy McGrady, Shaquille O'Neal. They came, they went.
I think Dwight Howard was the only one that stayed.
Yeah, Dwight Howard. But even then, he still never won a ring for the Orlando Magic. It took him all the way. It took him, 3-4 tries until what? He went to Detroit, Atlanta. I'm sure I'm missing other teams, but these are teams that he went after the Magic, and then ultimately ended up with the Lakers just to win a championship again in the bubble.
Yeah.
So
with the greatest player.
With fucking stacked team. Yeah. Anthony Davis, who was not injured. LeBron James. I mean, the list is long. They had Dwight Howard. I think they had another center on that team at one point. They had like 3 centers.
I think Dwight Howard.
JaVale McGee. They had JaVale McGee for crying out loud.
Dwight
He
Howard,
was overseas dunking, looking like the freak of nature.
He was like the 3rd string center or something like that. He's coming off the bench for sure.
So it's like that. It's, in my opinion, I know people will argue this. People will argue that Dwight Howard had some role in that championship team. I personally don't feel that way, but hey, whatever. It's my opinion. That's how I feel. But move on a little bit. We talked a little bit of the trades, a lot to touch up on. Keep in mind the trade is coming up here February 6th for the deadline. So we're going to see some news, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. I'll keep posted. I'll keep y'all posted on the story on IG as well. Let y'all know what's going on. But real talk, the Magic. We touched on it briefly. Jalen Suggs, injured, out indefinitely due to MCL contusion. I don't know, man. Jalen Suggs came out of Gonzaga, was a player that they had a little more high hopes for to be more consistent, but they're not getting that out of Jalen Suggs. So what do you do ideally with a player that injury prone early in his career? They did sign that contract for him too as well. So they signed him on a sizable contract, which I think they might have overpaid him on. So what do you do now?
If you overpaid him, man, you're kind of stuck with him.
Shit sucks.
Yeah.
It's like you get this guy who, yeah, he's a nightmare on defense, but he can't stay healthy in the game. This is Anthony Davis all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of Suggs like that, but I really have seen him, and I've seen his impact as far as like just to be objective on the game. Mm-hmm. I've seen his impact overall for the Magic this season, and I think he could definitely be a good option for the Magic if he was healthy. This is where you kind of like put your faith in things. Like, do you put your faith on him coming back, getting healthy, and being a sizable asset like he has been? Or do you give up on that player because you feel like he's injury prone? Because if you do, then if you label him injury prone, then he'll be bounced around like Anthony Edwards. And we'll be disrespecting Anthony Davis, and we'll be disrespecting his name in that sense.
Yeah, and he's still young. I think he's 23, 24, if I'm not mistaken. So he's still relatively young.
That bald?
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
Damn.
If I'm not speaking of the bald thing, the NBA recently came out and said that he's not allowed to wear the neckband around his neck. I mean, sorry, wow. The headband around his neck.
Yeah, and he didn't do it all game though. He would like do it to start the game.
Start the game a little bit, and then eventually he would work his way.
It would work his way up.
I see what he was trying to do. Maybe start a little trend, but let's be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Around your neck, bro, like headband, like come on, bro. What we doing? Like, this is not the type of time. I don't know what type of mood you in, but this ain't the place for that shit.
Again, yeah, it's just like wrong player. Wrong player to do it.
Yeah,
LeBron James does it. Nobody cares.
He's going through some shit. He's senile, whatever.
No,
type
yeah,
shit.
he's just like it bothers his head, so he's keeping it in his neck right now.
Whatever you want to say. Hell, even Jaylen Brown, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, with the obviously hairline fading and shit like
But
that.
no, Suggs. I think for Magic, I think they should. I personally feel like they should maintain their loyalty to the players that they have. They look like they've been making some spark here and there
Anthony
if they're
Black
healthy.
dunked on 4 fucking players with the Memphis Grizzlies.
He did dunk on 4 players. I saw
was
that.
nasty.
That was dope.
And they won that game.
But when healthy, they seem to have key figures that night over night are different, that take over the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Paolo's team anymore.
Franz Wagner is finally back too. I saw that. Came back.
So you know, like I feel like Suggs is a great addition to this team.
He's a 6-man.
What are you gonna trade him for? Like, you know, again, you paid him, you overpaid him, so now you're gonna have to take a loss on him, and you're gonna get probably youngsters. But at the end of the day, though, it Suggs to me, it makes the impact that Draymond makes to the organization. It's the impact you don't see. You know, it's the moments where he's annoying to Jalen Brunson, and he like, it's like annoying. He's like a fly not letting him score. Those moments are the moments that are going to be impactful for Orlando to allow him to win. I think they might have won that game against the Knicks that time, right?
I'm sure they did. I'm
But
not
it's
mistaken.
those reasons. It's the Suggs that come in to slow down Jalen Brunson intentionally.
And I like Jalen Suggs as far as coming off the bench. Him as a starter, I was never a big fan of. I don't believe that Jalen Suggs is a starter.
Yeah, he's
Jalen
not a starter.
Suggs, in my opinion, Jalen Suggs kind of reminds me a little bit of a Josh Hart. Josh Hart does more, and Jalen Suggs is a better defender. However, they kind of have similar play. You know, they're erratic. They're all over the place. They're back and forth on the court. They're full court sprinting all the time. So they're that player that you can't say necessarily you get rid of them. You need them on the team. They're the heart of the team. They're the soul of the team. They're that player that comes off the bench that sparks the team, and you need that player.
Yeah.
That's what Jalen Suggs is. As a starter, I don't believe it. Maybe the organization is gonna put more confidence in Anthony Black being the starter.
Yeah,
I
I think they had him starting because players were in and out a lot, too many injuries and stuff like that. So they were trying.
But a lot, you know, not looking so good for the Magic. You know, I know they're trying to come up right now and, you know, get their season a little bit better than what it is. They just got a loss not too long ago to the Grizzlies because they had played 2 back-to-back games with them. But I mean, overall, the Magic aren't really looking the hottest. They're 5-5 in the last 10 games. They just lost one, as I mentioned. They're number 6 ranked in the Eastern Conference. It's not terrible, but your record is 23-19. So you're just barely getting by at winning games. You're not really putting a significant debt in very many things. Now, granted, they did get a couple of big wins. Obviously, they beat the Knicks, who were number 2 at the time. They've also beat other teams like Memphis Grizzlies, who I will say Memphis Grizzlies are not having the best season, of course, yes. They still have a competitive team. They're also beating teams such as the Atlanta Hawks not too long ago. So they're getting some wins out there, but they're not winning the games that are what's important. They win one game, they lose another. They go through a 2-game losing
I think
streak.
they even beat Golden State one time.
Yeah, they have a team that can win games. They like you said, but you mentioned Desmond Bane. He's doing great things for the Magic. He's honestly, I'd probably say the 3rd best player on that team. You got Paolo, you got Franz Wagner, whoever the best players between those two, I'll let y'all decide that. But they got offensive weapons there. The team, it works. Even Wendell Carter, who at one point some people were thinking needed to be traded, he's having a pretty decent season as well. So the team is good. They can make it into the playoffs, honestly. It's a young core team, so it's not like an age is a factor in this. Coaching isn't necessarily a factor in this either because the coaching is looking good as well. It's just they're not winning the games that they need to win. They're having these leads, these 10, 15-point leads, and they're blowing it in the 4th quarter. You have Paolo sometimes where he'll come out, start getting hot, and then he's just cold. Like, just not making shots. He's throwing up threes not sinking. It took him some time to get back on track when Franz Wagner had went out. So it was a lot of up and down and mixed emotions with the Magic fans and just the Magic organization as a whole. So hopefully they can get shit turned around. But I don't know. With Jalen Suggs sitting out, that's a piece that they're gonna need. Like I said, it's like a Josh Hart. You don't have him. That's a piece you're gonna need. It's like you said with Draymond Green. It's a piece that you need on that team when you're playing a game. Whatever the team is, whoever you're playing, you need someone that's going to have a defensive mind that can lock up a player coming off the bench and help out. So, yeah, I don't know. The Magic they're in a tough spot now without Jalen Suggs. But Franz Wagner's back, so we can only hope that they kind of go up from here.
I think the Magics are, Orlando Magics is right where they're supposed to be based on the talent and everything going on in their situation. Like, we can't expect them to be at the top 3. We're not going to expect them to be in the bottom 3. Right in the middle of 6.
They'll stay in that top 6 every time.
Yeah, that's them, and they're, I think this is not going to be a popular take. Like, people are not going to like it, but we're not expecting Orlando to win a chip this year.
No, I wasn't expecting. I don't even expect the New York Knicks to win a chip this year, if I'm being really honest with you. Would I love them to? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Knicks could be in that conversation more so than Knicks are more eligible. There's like levels you go through in the league.
And I'm glad you brought up the Knicks, because that was the next thing we are going to bring up. And here's why I feel like they're not going to get into the championship. They're 2 of 8 in the past 10 games. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and say that they're 2 of 11 in the past 11 games, because they just lost earlier today to the Mavericks by damn near 20 at home in the Garden. So they already lost them earlier when they were in Dallas and again in the Garden. And they started off the season almost undefeated at home. They got that one loss, now another. Now they looking shaky at home. And here's the thing with New York. They look bad, and it's like you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, they're not looking bad like, all right, someone's injured. Jalen Brunson did go out a couple of games ago, so he had missed 2 away games. All right, cool, I'll give you guys that. Now he's back, Josh Hart is back, and we still look bad. Like, we're not looking good. I looked at the points not too long ago for earlier in the game, and you had OG at 5 points. You had Mikal Bridges, 7 points. You got guys that are in the starting lineup that are not in the double digits, and it's the 4th fucking quarter. Why are you starting? And don't tell me you're there for just defense, because I need points from you as well. If you're just going to come out here for just defense, then I might need to think about swapping you out for somebody else, next man up type shit.
I think the Knicks are going to be fine. I think
they'll be fine.
I mean, I know what you mean,
winning,
that they're going through a little bit of a streak right now.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna say it like I always say, Cat's a bitch, bro. Like, he's just not. He's not the player that the New York Knicks needs in this organization. And I said it when they picked him up. I didn't like the pickup. You lost Julius Randle, you lost Dante DiVincenzo. 3-point shooting with Dante DiVincenzo. Julius Randle, at the very least, I can say he drove to the paint. He wasn't afraid to get aggressive, and he wasn't getting fucking offensive fouls. 2 in the first quarter, 3 in the first. Like, the fouls that he's getting is asinine. This shit don't make sense, because he's just putting himself in an impossible situation every single game. You are the second option on that team. Second leading scorer on that team. I need you on the court. If you're not on the court and you're on the bench because you're in foul trouble in the first quarter, that leaves me having to put an Ariel Hawk-Portian, or dare I say a Gershon Yabusele, the guy that dunked on LeBron James in the Olympics. You got to have that in the game. I'd rather have a Karl Anthony Towns. I know he's going to give me offensive fouls, but he's going to give me more scoring on the court. You're going to put Yabusele that takes a shot that lasts about damn near an hour to get up? Like, they're not, the piece doesn't look good with Karl Anthony Towns. And he said in the beginning of the year, I don't know where I fit in the offense. I'm still trying to figure it out. And even just recently, he said, I'm not too sure. We're still, day by day. My motherfucker, it's midway in the season. What are you trying to figure out? There's nothing to figure out anymore. The chemistry should already be there. We're talking about all-star season coming up. The Super Bowl is next fucking month. What are we waiting for? Yeah. What chemistry needs to be built here? So the Knicks, I don't like it, man. This season's not over. They'll make it into the playoffs, but they're not winning a championship with this team. I could see them easily going into the first round and honestly getting smacked by Detroit Pistons, for example. Not saying they would, because that wouldn't be a matchup based on the standings right now. But if we go based off the standings, if the playoffs ended today, third plays number 6, it'd be Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic's beating us.
Not in a 7-game series. No way.
You're right. Maybe not in a 7-game series in the
Not in a
playoffs.
7-game
It's hard when you got a Brunson, but when you got a Cat as a liability like that, it's like a cancellation. Yeah, you're gonna get scoring with Brunson. We know what Brunson can do in the playoffs. He can drop the 40-point games. We know that. We know he's one of the scorers in the playoffs. But when you put a Cat in there, it cancels it out. If I got Brunson out there, he got 10 in the first quarter. But now I got Karl Anthony Towns with 2 fouls in the first quarter. Well, now I got to take him out, and I probably can't even put him in the whole second quarter because you got 2 fouls in the first half already. Now Brunson has to be out there, and Brunson's got to be out there with Miles McBride, or has to be out there with a Tyler Kohler, because I see they've been running that. You got Jordan Clarkson who's out there who's just lobbing up shots. The scoring is only coming from Brunson. I need my other guy out there. I need the guy that I paid this money for, that I picked up this trade for. And you're telling me I can't because he's relegated to the bench because he can't keep his hands to the fucking self? Like, we can't keep that. This is New York basketball. Like, we need more. We need better. You're in an aggressive ass city.
I could see why nobody makes it in the Knicks in New York. It's just too tough. You guys.
It's cutthroat. It is what it is.
No,
we gonna love
guys,
you, but we gonna hate you.
Fans are too critical, man. You guys are too critical. I feel like you guys don't weather the storm. To like.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth.
I mean?
That's just how we are. We literally one moment we praising you like, hey, that's my guy, and the next minute is fuck you because this ain't what we want.
Knicks fans is tough.
This ain't what we want. Like this is the Mecca. This is some would say basketball originated in a place of this.
Because you know, if we're to say like Knicks go on a 10-game winning streak and Karl Anthony Towns so lucky enough drops 25 plus every single game for the next 10 games.
I would need to see how he does it.
New York would praise him. Like he's hitting every three, doesn't miss.
They would, you know why? Because that's just the same reason when he was doing that whole new fucking York and they were talking about Bodega Cat.
He's pointing to the piano guy like you know what I mean? Knicks is gonna love him. Like they're gonna have flags of him. And stuff.
If he actually was like the most aggressive I've seen of Karl Anthony Towns was last season when he went to the Raptors and he shouted out "New fucking York" on his jersey. That's the last time I've ever seen him aggressive.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was it. But ever since then, I haven't seen that aggressive. All I see is him running into the paint, doing that fucking the two-step. I can't remember the name of it right now. The Euro, there you go. Doing the fucking Euro. And it's like, when you see him do the Euro, it's just where the ball goes. I mean, I feel like he's doing a show. Like he's out there doing fucking ballet or some shit. I mean, the nigga goes here to here and then the ball, yeah. Like, what we doing?
Like, one of the questions, I think the biggest question to me is his style of play impacting the team negatively, whether it's a win or a loss?
It is.
Whether it's a win or a loss.
Because even when they're winning games and he has points, he still impacted the game negatively. Why? Because he's putting himself in foul trouble constantly, and he's having other players now have to pick up the scoring load that we now have to substitute because Cat's not out there. Now we're having players have to pick up the defensive slack because he doesn't want to run back on defense.
Is it like the opposite polarity of how frustrating it is as a Golden State fan to have Draymond Green get a technical foul in the playoffs in a very important game because he couldn't control his emotions and he fucking throws a tantrum? It's a polarity. Like you just have the soft guy. I have the stupid guy who acts out and then gets kicked out in the most important time.
I can't compare that because I'm not going to sit here and say that no, because you're not going to get the same kind of scoring out of Draymond. But what he does bring to the court, obviously, is that
he's an impactful player. Yeah,
he's impactful.
But we don't need him to go out in the playoffs.
But Draymond Green is more impactful than Karl Anthony Towns.
But which is why I'm saying, like, can you see how frustrating it is for me for him to get a technical foul and get fouled out? Or something, or like, which he's probably known the most out of everybody.
But the thing with Draymond Green though is,
so I have to take what I mean. What I mean to tell you with this is, I have to accept the bad that comes with that player for the good of the team.
Oh, but I never accepted it when the trade went through. I don't want that.
I know, but I guess this is where the New Yorkers have a problem.
I never wanted it. I
New York
never
fans-
wanted him. When I saw that trade come across my screen and they said they gave up Julius Randle and Dante, all I cared about was Dante. I didn't give a fuck about Julius. And then I heard we acquired Karl Anthony Towns, the motherfucker that goes into the playoffs for the Minnesota and always chokes. We picked that up. When we have a team that actually finally has a point guard that's going to be generational for the team, we're picking up Karl Anthony Towns, a guy that can't finish in the playoffs. It just is, I don't know if they did it because like, oh, hey, yeah, we know you were in Jersey. That's where you're from. Hey, come to New York, nigga. What is this? This is not a fucking family foundation type shit. You came here to play basketball. And we asking you to play the right way.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's just, it's frustrating because it's not just the fans that are saying it. There's players, Carmelo Anthony has come out on his podcast. Patrick Ewing has come out and said, hey, I've tried to talk to him about the offensive foul. Like, come on, bro. You got these legends for the franchise coming out saying these things, that's played the game, that's competed at a high elite level. You can't figure that shit out, bro. Like, and what kills me is he'll do the offensive foul. He'll hook someone when he's coming off of a spin, and then says, "Where's the foul?" And then the fucking big ass screen on the Megatron, whatever the fuck that shit's called again, sitting up there. This man's hooking. He's hooking his arm.
Yeah, that's why I asked though. Because there could be great moments with Cat.
Jumbotron.
You're just forgetting the great moments with Cat. So it's. I get you as a fan. I get you because I've been there with a certain player.
Moments are, I do understand moments.
Trust me, it's not moments, it's a career.
I remember the career.
Like Draymond has not changed in the last 10 years that I've been a Golden State fan.
And I remember the career. The career that Karl Anthony Towns has had has been decent. I'm not going to say he's had like the best career of all time kind of deal, but it's been decent enough where when I have you on my team that I expect it to correlate the same way. And in the first year he was there, it wasn't like it was a big system change. He was coached by the same coach on the Minnesota Timberwolves as he was on the Knicks, by Tom Thibodeau. So you know who he is. You know how he is. So what's the excuse?
There's the Villanova boys.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it was.
The Villanova
It's the
boys.
Villanova boys, and it's a simple fact that I honestly think Karl Anthony Towns feels that because he's not the primary guy of the offense, which is why I feel that he can't figure out what his position is on the team. You're the center. Fuck you mean you don't know your position. Grab the rebounds, block the ball,
That's not what he wants.
play defense,
He came from a team to where
score.
somebody else did that.
and that's the thing. You had Anthony Edwards that was doing for him previously before that.
You had another big man. You had
Rudy Gobert. You talking about when he was
He didn't have to
he
block
wasn't the
as
center
much.
before. Yeah, he didn't play defense.
He didn't have to block. He didn't have to. He could just spot up threes. He could take risky shots.
He was able to do that, but you can't do that with this organization.
Because Rudy was getting offensive boards, and so I think that's what he was used to. So
And I think they try to do that here with the Mitchell Robinson and the Cat. But let's be honest, Mitchell Robinson is not at the same caliber of a Rudy Gobert. Unfortunately, I know that's interesting to say, but I say that in the sense Rudy Gobert has won Defensive Player of the Year multiple times. He's won All Defensive Player multiple times.
yeah, but the guy can't put the ball in the hoop. for his life.
Yeah, 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But I know that if I got Rudy Gobert on the court compared to Mitchell Robinson, I know I'm going to get more out of Rudy Gobert than Mitchell Robinson. The man can't even shoot fucking free throws. Rudy Gobert can shoot better free throws than Mitchell Robinson, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting Mitchell Robinson to be that great.
So I think here's the thing is he went to New York and he got like a lesser version of Rudy Gobert. And that's me saying that as a Knicks fan. I love Mitchell Robinson. I wish he got better free throw shots, but I love Mitchell Robinson. But right now, arguably, he was better with the Rudy Gobert because of what his defensive mindset was and the fact that he was getting rebounds and he was more a threat in the paint than a Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, over time, you give him 15, 20 minutes, he's getting tired.
Putbacks, all of Cat's missed putbacks.
Yeah, he's getting those. He's getting all the crumbs.
Yeah, so it was easier for Cat to Cat wasn't under so much scrutiny as he's in. If we go back in time, I'm sure that little habit of that offensive foul has been trailing Cat forever.
Oh yeah, that's always been there.
So
when he was in Minnesota, that's always been there.
When you go to New York, from what I see now, is you go under a different microscope.
Of course.
Than every other team.
You got thousands of fans that majority, if not maybe 50% of the fans in the arena all know basketball. So when you have and I'm not to say that other teams that have their fans in their arena don't know basketball, but one could argue that New Yorkers, we know basketball. We got a fucking basketball court everywhere around the corner. That's just how it is in New York. Whereas like in places like Florida, you got a fucking open field all over the place. So they know football and a track. So you know your territory. You in that territory where we know basketball. So if we see you doing shit that you shouldn't be doing, we gonna call you on your shit.
Yeah, but then it's hard to play. Like I'm going against the fans and the other team. Like,
I see where you're coming
it's hard
from.
It's hard to get out of my head at that point.
It is hard to play, but at the end of the day, you sign that contract. You know what it came with. You wanted to play for the city.
Sometimes, bro, this is the thing. There's the thing. Sometimes you don't know what it comes with. You think you know what it comes with.
You go to New York, you know what that shit comes with, man.
Well, you get like,
or have an idea or a sense.
You get people's takes on it, but everyone, all of us, we're like,
yeah,
I want to go see it for myself.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah,
I want to go check
true.
it out.
But you can read the fucking room and know that if I'm gonna go to New York, that I can't fuck shit up. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
I guess. Yeah,
you can go
time.
to a Portland Trailblazers or a Washington Wizards or a Charlotte Hornets. Like, you can go to a team like that and not really do much. Like, all right, yeah, we picked them up. We didn't really expect to do anything crazy. But you go to New York, like we gonna scrutinize you, of course.
Yeah, I think Cat.
If you went to Golden State, it'd be the same way. You think the fans in the Bay would want to stand for what Karl Anthony Towns does?
So, no, well, yeah, what would happen is he would get highlighted, but we wouldn't treat him that fucked up. We wouldn't, like,
maybe,
we would
okay, you're right.
him. We would Kaminga him.
You're right.
We would just bench him.
Yeah, Steve Kerr would be like, yeah,
yeah, we'd just move on. Like, we'll just kind of move on.
They would
but
do that. They would give him the silent treatment.
Yeah, you guys are just like, fuck you, fuck you, And it's like, damn, bro. Hey, like,
we real.
Damn.
New are just real. They have, I shouldn't say they have no filter, you know? There's just no filter on them. But yeah, man, that's about all I had really for the basketball agenda, man. It was a lot to take in, but we had a lot to talk about, honestly. I really want to hear what y'all think, honestly, about all the takes that we had, because we had some pretty fucking hot takes. For sure. I can't even lie on that. But we're going to take a little side step here. It is MLK Day, as we mentioned. Happy MLK Day for all you MLK fans out there. And if you don't know what that stands for, it's Martin Luther King, so read a fucking book. But outside of that, I did want to shout out our sponsors again. Dubby, Be Better, energy product right now. It is something that we actually just got a sponsorship. We didn't get a chance to talk about that on our last video, so we did secure the sponsorship. I do have the product coming in, so y'all will be able to see the bottles, see what we talking about. We're not just talking out our ass. We actually got a legitimate sponsorship. I promise y'all. So we're going to show that. We'll have the promo code that you guys can put in to get your first order in. If you don't do energy drinks, hey, that's cool. This is an energy powder, so you mix at your own free will. Outside of that, shit.
I know you mentioned Martin Luther King Day, bro. It just brought me to it. I just thought about it.
What you thinking about?
Is there any like other historic black figure who get their own day, or did we just give Martin Luther King because he was assassinated in front of so many people?
I don't think that's the reason why. Well, it might have been a pretty big reason why. But he was also a public figure, a lot of other things too as well. But
like I don't
Does
think
Malcolm X have a day?
I think he has a day, but it ain't a day like where people
take off. Yeah,
like the banks aren't closed that day.
Shit. And as of not too long, a couple months ago, it's not even recognized as a holiday for the parks, according to Trump. You no longer can like park free on Martin Luther King Day or some shit like that.
So we're pulling it back a little bit now. Okay.
Hey.
No, that's pretty interesting because I mean, you know, I was rooting for like my Rosa Parks and stuff. I was like, maybe she should get a day. Shit. She's sat in the back of the bus.
You know, I'm thinking. You know why I don't have a day is because they have February next month, Black History Month. Which, to be honest with
they
you,
just bunched them all up.
Yeah, they just bunched them all together. Which I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't care how y'all feel about this. I think Black History Month is stupid.
To me, it's
I'm gonna say it how it is. I personally, let me not say stupid. It's not stupid because of what they do and what the reasoning behind it and us honoring African Americans before us that, you know, paved the way and all of that. I'm not saying it's stupid because of that. I'm saying it's stupid because we're recognizing an entire month for African Americans.
It shouldn't be a month thing. It should be a
year why not all the time?
It should be an always recognition. I get this specification of like, hey, we're gonna dedicate this 1 month to you. But then what ends up happening is we dedicate a month to something, and it pulls away from the validity
Everyone's
of
got
something
something,
else.
and it's not, and I might hurt some hearts here. It's not even just the African American community, but it's the same thing with the LGBTQ community. They got like a Pride Month, and I don't even know when that month is.
Careful now.
But hey,
Hey, be careful now.
Hey, I'm just saying it like it is, man. Like, I don't think people need a month to celebrate who they are. It's just crazy. Like, is there a Colombian month? Is there a fucking no offense? Is there a Dominican Republic month? No. Like, there's no history for that.
They get a day. They get a day, but
You know,
no one gets off that day. You gotta put PTO in.
It's
on
like,
that.
why do we put such a large microscope on this whole entire month to celebrate African Americans? Like, why? What's the purpose of that?
I think they were working on like figuring out a way to do reparations, and they figured that giving them a month.
They even did the Juneteenth that they added a couple of years back.
But that's what I'm saying. They're like just working their way up through the reparations, and they're trying to avoid the financial portion.
Oh, we ain't gonna get started reparations. Yeah. I think they might be a little bit.
They're like, I know we owe you guys some land, but here's a month. Here's a month on the calendar.
Hey, we gonna give you a month. Can't say we ain't never did nothing for you.
Yeah, man.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Even?
Like,
We
hey,
even?
y'all got a whole month. We ain't even got a whole month. Yeah, because y'all got the whole fucking year. Who that y'all is, I'm gonna let y'all figure that out.
Yeah.
Outside of that, hey, continued sponsor. Shout out to our boy Armani, Cosmic Souls.
Yes,
We don't
sir.
got the shorts on right now because if y'all don't know, if y'all ain't been outside lately, it's cold as fuck.
It is brick.
It's brick. So yeah, we ain't wearing the shorts. Sorry, Armani. Maybe next episode, but definitely stay
You could
tuned.
have put it over the sweatpants though, if you.
That's
really wanted.
diabolical, bro.
If you really was dedicated to being like committed to supporting your boy, bro, our boy, excuse me, you would have wore it over the sweat.
Ooh, I'm gonna hit you with something. If you was dedicated, you would have a pair of shorts in your possession.
Well, the thing is I don't know how to get them.
I got you, bro. I'll hook you up with the promo code. I'll hook y'all up with the promo
There
code
you
too.
go, bro. There
Don't
you go.
worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna send it
What's
to
the
y'all.
name of the website?
Cosmic Souls. Ooh, I think it's CosmicSouls.com, but don't quote me on that. We'll put all those links in there so y'all can click, choose, buy, shop, tell your friends, refer your friends. Right now, if you actually do put in your first order, you get the shorts. There's no discount. I'm just letting you know you get the shorts. But there's some fire shorts. We really want y'all to support my boy. He's doing some great big things. So stay on the lookout for Cosmic Souls because he's doing some good things right now. He's got 2 pairs of shorts, one in white, one in black. Y'all take a look at the website. We'll post it up so y'all can take a look at that later.
Yes, sir.
Outside of that, last piece of little bit that we want to get to, we was playing a little bit of music earlier. Had some J. Cole playing. I don't know if you heard, he's got an album coming out here on, actually, coincidentally enough, February 6th also. Same day as the trade deadline, I think.
The day after the trade deadline.
Okay, sorry, day after,
Deadline's
okay.
the 5th.
My mistake.
I'm curious to see what J. Cole got going on, man. J. Cole is an amazing artist. I won't categorize him only as a rapper, per se. I mean, it's not like he's doing much singing, but he's versatile. He could have some melody in there. He can rap. I'm curious to see what J. Cole. It's been a minute since we've seen a J. Cole
I
project.
think the last time we heard from him was 2024 April time. Is when
Yeah,
we had the last one.
it's been so long that I personally don't listen to J. Cole.
So that's it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I'm kind of glad you did. So that's one of the reasons why he's kind of doing this album. He released a clip not too long ago on Instagram about a lot of people were saying like I fell off. He has like a whole like story.
I wouldn't
behind it.
have said I fell off. I just say it's not relevant.
You haven't heard from him.
Yeah, it's not relevant.
Out of sight, out of mind. So if you don't
Yeah.
see, you don't hear from him. You just assume like what happened, like
Yeah.
where'd they go? Which honestly, who knows where he went? Sounds like he's probably working on the album the whole time. Maybe spent some time to spend with his family. Who knows? It's not our business. But all I know is he got an album coming out. Sounds like it's gonna be pretty fire. Comes out next month. And then really, what he touched on with this particular album is that what's gonna be different about it. So not only with the features that he's got in there, but he dropped an early release on his Instagram, so you can hear a part of the song a little bit in the intro. But he mentions how not this could be the last album, but it was very vague in the message that he wrote, in the sense of that take what I have right now while I have it type shit. Like, you never know how long it might last. So this album I'm going to give you guys. Y'all been saying I fell off. I got y'all this. Might be the last type shit. So we don't really know.
J. Cole's an interesting figure, man. He's just very content with life. I think he's very much at peace, very happy. And so, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this could be his last project. Like I literally I would see it coming more so than
J.
be
Cole, he's
surprised.
been around for a minute. What, 2014, I think?
And
16?
honestly, I mean, there's rappers that are still around that probably shouldn't be around, and J. Cole should probably stay around. But I
May not be done.
I get his sense of like serenity with music and like, you know, kind of like how he looks at it more so as probably nostalgic at this point. He doesn't identify with it as much. That you could tell he doesn't live the lifestyle.
Yeah,
he pedals a bike.
He's definitely on his own wavelength, really. Like he does his own thing. He's not really like, I guess you could say, in the media like that. Like you don't really hear much about J. Cole.
And one thing I would say is everybody evolves, and I think J. Cole is one of those people who I would have saw coming to go through an evolution stage. You see this with very big superstars. Some stay in their current like market that they're in.
The genre of music and stuff.
Yeah, but like, you know, maybe J. Cole can
Some venture off and go to go to country, for example.
and not necessarily just end music for all, and maybe, you know, maybe get into developing or like producing.
They kind of stay in the
or
back.
even stay, because that's kind of like what he likes to do, is remain in the shadows. So I feel like, and I think that's where he feels his talent is the strongest, is when no one's looking at him.
Yeah, I think he might be going down that path of wanting to become like more producer, writing a lot of the stuff. I can see it because I mean he's been in a lot of features before too, so I can see something that he does.
Yeah, but personally though, I stick with my dog, Lil Baby.
That's your go-to. That's who you turn on.
I
when you
mean,
get in
you
the
know, a
car?
lot of people say he fell off too, but you know, I would say he's given us some pretty credible music over the last few years. I'd go as far as to say he's been the Stephen Curry of the rap industry over the last 10 years.
Steph Curry. Why you say that?
The Stephen Curry, because I feel like every time
You're talking about Lil Baby, right?
Lil Baby,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like you know, when it's needed, or you know, he started off shooting from half court, and whenever the time called for, as far as like the music industry, he was able to provide some substance, some music of substance. Some people may not like all of his tracks. I personally, that's how life goes. We talked about it earlier. Some will, some won't. So what? You keep it pushing. But when you look at it objectively, I would say Lil Baby has had not only a very successful career, but has done an amazing job choreographing his music and
That's fair.
kind of putting it out there for his people. So I rock with my boy Lil Baby. Full pockets full.
That's fair. Well, I mean, outside of that, I do want to kind of tune you guys in, like we talked about earlier in the episode. Obviously, y'all see different area that we at right now, working some things out. So stay tuned, pay attention, because y'all gonna be seeing some changes and whatnot. Nothing bad, obviously.
Yes,
That's
sir,
why we
Steve.
letting y'all know. But everything's up from here. But outside of that, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You know, tell your friends about us. Hey, like us on Instagram,
Tell your mom
TikTok.
about us.
Tell your mom, your grandmom, your aunties. That's cool too. Share it. Aside of that, you got anything else for us, man? That's about it on the itinerary, or what else? What we got? What else we got?
Ain't much, bro. We good.
Good.
We good, bro.
Well, we appreciate y'all being here. This is Court and Culture. I'm Khalil. This is Jeremy.
G Money.
Deuces.